inside historic Bosse Field at 23 Don Mattingly Way. Remember, you're listening to the Papa John's pregame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network and Home Team Network. I'm Riley Angel alongside my partner, Lucas Macklin. Lucas, last night the Otters losing a heartbreaker in extra innings, coming into this one hoping to spark some more fight.
Yeah, a game where you had an initial really good start from your starting pitcher. They end up getting to middle of that game. Not the first time we've seen that this year. But the fight back we saw, in the middle of that game, getting it tied back into, back at 6 and then getting into extras was really good fight, but just didn't have enough steam there at the end.
Now, David Mendham, he has been so good in the early part of this season for the Evansville Otters. Yesterday walked 3 times, an RBI as well as a hit. I mean, how big is he for this Otters offense, especially the way he's able to get on base seemingly every single at-bat?
I think it's huge. Obviously, a 6'11 OBP, so he's getting on 61% of the time. When you're getting on him batting in front of LJ Jones, getting an opportunity for LJ Jones to bat behind that kind of guy, always, usually at least with one runner on, if not more, can be huge for an offense. And hopefully we can see more of the same going forward.
He has also started the year with a 4-game hitting streak along with that 4-game on-base streak. So he's getting on so far in every single game that the Otters have played.
Yeah, and like I said, can't speak enough about David Mendham, about what he does for this lineup. And hopefully, we continue to see that as the season goes along.
Now we look at the starting pitcher for tonight's Otters team. It is Braden Scott. Had a great first start when 5 innings did not allow a run, but he worked through some control issues in that first inning. Do you expect to see that, and do you expect to see him fight through it like he did in his first outing?
Yeah, typically with Braden Scott, you usually see a little bit of control issues, at least with 1 inning when he goes. But if he can get past that, he's a guy that will get into a groove and go the length. And we saw him only go 5 in Game 1 this season. Potentially see him as the season goes on stretch out more, and we'll see how far Coach McCauley wants to let him go today. If he is, pitching really well, I don't see him taking him out until he's forced to.
Now, one thing to talk about with this Otters pitching staff is right now they don't really have an established 5th starter. Obviously, the signing of Terrence Marin a couple of days ago, when he gets off the injured list, maybe that will come into play. But right now, really only 4 guys that can go out there, start a ball game, and give you 6 strong innings.
Yeah, but I think you see some guys give you length, guys like John Beamer and C.J. Backer, guys who aren't typically starters, and we'll see, again, how the Otters use them overall. But it's just about giving what you got and going to your bullpen when you need to. And you mentioned Terrence Marin, also have Casey Delgado, who eventually will come back from his injury as well. It's just kind of about getting to that point when you have that health, and really, health is a big thing along with the entire team, but especially with pitchers. So it's kind of a thing you just have to continue to fight through as you go on the entire season, really.
You were listening to the Papa John's pregame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network and Home Team Network. When we come back, we'll go over starting lineups. You're listening on the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Back here in the Otters pregame show, remember, Home Team Network is the exclusive home of every Frontier League game this year. Check out Home Team Network to sign up today and get a front row seat to every Otters game this season. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for either side today, starting with the visiting Trois-Rivieres Eagles. For Trois-Rivieres, it is LP Pelletier batting first. He is in left field. Batting second, David Vinsky. He is the DH today for the Eagles. Omar Marigildo is the third baseman batting third. Juan Carlos Negrete, huge game yesterday, had 2 homers. He's playing right field and cleaning it up. Chris Burgess, the backstop, is batting fifth. And then John Montes slotting in the sixth spot. He's playing second base. Justin Farmer, center fielder, batting seventh. Brandon Hilton, first baseman, batting in the 8th spot, and then rounding it out, Edward Sanchez, the shortstop, batting 9th. For your Evansville Otters, Ale Camo continuing to be in the leadoff spot. He is the shortstop. Graham Brown batting second. He is in center field. David Mindham, red hot start for him. He is playing first base, batting third. LJ Jones, big 2 RBI double last night, cleaning it up. He is the left fielder. Paven Parks, third baseman, batting fifth. JT Benson batting sixth, playing right field. JJ Cruz, second baseman, batting seventh. Justin Felix, the backstop, batting eighth, and rounding it out, Mason White, the DH, just getting his second start of the season. For either side, Jason Therian for Trois-Rivieres, and for Evansville, Braden Scott on the bump. Riley Angel, Lucas Macklin alongside. Lucas, this Trois-Rivieres team scored a lot yesterday. How can this Otters team come in here and prevent that from happening?
Yeah, I mean, really it comes down to stopping the middle of that order, and really comes down to stopping the right fielder Negrete and the DH Vinsky. And obviously they're not batting in the same order they were yesterday, but those are the 2 guys that really did the most damage. Specifically, Negrete hit a couple of home runs, but Vinsky also had a big 2 RBI single as well. Those are the 2 guys that really were the heavy hitters. Outside of that, honestly, the Otters did a really good job kind of pitching around most of those guys. There was obviously traffic on the base pass for those guys, and you want to keep that down as much as possible. And specifically when you go up against those 2, you want to have as little runners on the base as possible, because those are the dangerous hitters. If they are batting with no one on, that's going to help you tremendously.
Now on the mound for the Eagles, Justin Therian. He spent some time in the major league so far this year. In his first start, he went 5 innings, striking out 6, giving up 1 home run. That was his only earned run of that outing. He looks to come in here and be the ace, as he has been the past 2 years, for Trois-Rivieres.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that, when you look at his baseball reference, a guy who had a lot of potential in the minors and got some time in the MLB, dealt with some injuries over the past his 2017 season, and didn't really pitch up until 2023 when he came back to Trois-Rivieres. And you got a guy who obviously has the veteranship, he has the arm, and he showed it in his first start. And it's going to be about trying to get to him early. Similar to what they did yesterday, they were patient. They waited for the pitch. They got on base, and they worked the count. They need to do something similar today. Work into that pitch count. Try to get him out as quickly as possible, so that way you can get to the bullpen, who they saw a lot of yesterday. So if they go similar guys as yesterday, if they go with other people, it's going to be a taxed bullpen. So again, just trying to get as many pitches against this guy as possible and get to that bullpen.
As you mentioned, they did work the count yesterday, got a lot of traffic, but they stranded 16 runners on base. 3 innings in the first 5 ended with bases loaded for the Otters.
Yeah, it's just about getting that big hit. I mean, that's really the big difference in last night's game. 16 left on base for the Otters, only 3 for the Eagles. That was the big game changer. And we saw LJ Jones get a big 2 RBI double at some point in the game. That did end up tying the game at that point. But that was really the only time we saw them get a big hit to really break it open. And if they get something similar tonight where they do get those runners on, they really, really, really need to take advantage. Because if they don't, it's going to be a tough one to win.
Mason White getting the start tonight at the DH spot, rounding it out. He's 0 for 3 so far this season in his 1 start. That was in one of the doubleheader games. But Mason White, big season last year, coming into his sophomore year, hopefully able to contribute a little bit to this offense.
Yeah, exactly. He had a lot of production last year. He came in really hot, struggled a little bit down the stretch last year, but he had a .255 batting average, had 5 home runs, 17 stolen bases. He walked 19 times as well. He was a guy that, again, did a lot for the Otters last year. You wanted to see him kind of build on that this year. Hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but gets one in this game. He's playing DH. Hopefully he can kind of start his season here and maybe give himself some more reps.
Yohan Gonzalez last night, and really the entire bullpen for Evansville, they got a lot of work, but they were able to hunker it down. I mean, Yohan came in, just put the pass behind him and threw a really, really good inning in relief, and the rest of the bullpen did good as well. Ryan Wilsey with over 2 innings of work. I mean, this bullpen, if they're able to bring that day in and day out, this Otters team is going to be very competitive.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan Wilsey in particular did a great job coming in and stabilizing the defense and really stifling the Eagles, who were had all the momentum at that point. Had just scored 5 runs in the last 2 innings, came in, shut them down 2 and 1/3 innings. Yohan Gonzalez came in after him, had a fantastic inning in his own right. So great work from those guys, and hopefully we see more throughout the rest of the bullpen as well.
You just listened to the Papa John's pregame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network and Home Team Network. The national anthem on deck, just about ready for baseball here at Fosse Field. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library.
Oh, Canada.
True patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. Both far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And now would you please remain standing as we honor America's freedom, those who now protect it, and pay tribute to those who made the ultimate sacrifice with the playing of our national anthem, again performed by Rue Martin.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the
Authority East, located at 2319 North River Road, or give them a call 812-475-9000.
Things pretty well. What do you expect to see from him?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what we can get from him in a second start. Spent 3 seasons with the Indiana Hoosiers. Spent a couple of seasons in the minor leagues. This is his 3rd season, 4th season actually, with the Otters. And it's gonna be fun to see what he can do here. You know, as the ace of this squad, giving them a great opportunity here to really get a big win, to set themselves up to potentially get back to 500 tomorrow.
Braden Scott on the fastball, at least early on in the season, will sit high 80s. Changeup as well for him. So we'll see how he does here tonight against this lineup last night, who scored 9 runs on 10 hits, 2 homers, both coming off the bat of Juan Carlos Negrete, both of which multi-run shots, the one in the 10th, a 2-run blast, the one in the 5th, a 3-run homer. Defense behind Braden Scott is as follows: L.J. Jones in left, Graham Brown in center, J.T. Benson in right. From third to first, it's Paven Parks, Alay Camo, J.J. Cruz, and for Braden Scott is Justin Felix. Stepping in, L.P. Pelletier. Pelletier leadoff batter. So far, a 125 hitter on the season. First pitch to him. Down low, ball 1, and we are underway.
79 degrees, mostly cloudy,
Otters
somewhat humid.
in their home whites. Red jerseys for the Eagles as the 1-0 pitch is taken. Outer half for a strike, 1-1. Across the front end, blue numbers on the back for the Otters on the white jerseys. Scott steps back and fires from the third base side of the rubber. Taken for a strike. For L.P. Pelletier. And boy, he needed that one.
15, David Vinsky.
Here's David Vinsky. On this 286. Scott giving him a look to pitch. Down it. Though. Throws. Set. The left-hander delivers. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, blew it by him at 89, 2-2. Staying with Braden Scott, not going to blow you away. At least not on the radar gun early on in the year, but the difference between the fastball change and slider, really hard to handle if you're a hitter. Lefty sets in the Fowler right back into the screen. 2-2. Infield straight up, same with the outfield. L.J. Jones playing a little deeper than usual out and left. Got to respect the power of Marigildo, who has really struggled to start the year. 0.59, that batting average. The 2-2. Swung on, bounced on the ground to short. Camo Fields throws across his body in time. So quickly 2 away after the leadoff single. Brings up a very dangerous Juan Carlos Negrete.
Batting fourth in right field, 8, Juan Carlos Negrete.
Juan Carlos, 3 homers on the year already, 7 ribbies. 2 of those homers and 6 of those RBI came last night. Negrete, right-handed batter, open stance, stands way back in that batter's box. The first pitch is taken inner half for a strike. Down and in, corner, just nipped it. 0-1. Runner on third base is Pelletier as he advanced on that past ground out. The 0-1 pitch now. Inside, got him leaning back. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one peaking up at 91. We didn't see Scott get up in the 90s in his opening start. Maybe hit 90 exactly a couple of times. It's the 1-1 offering. Swung on and missed. We didn't see him like this, consistently up at 91 miles an hour. Again, midseason form will go up 93, 94. Just hasn't quite got the arm fully warmed up yet. Still in May here in the Frontier League. The 1-2 pitch to Negrete. Swung on, fouled right back. That one at 92. Count stays. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pelletier, way in the grass, standing over at third base. The pitch. Swung on, rocket just past the reaching glove of Pavin Parks down the left field line. That's going to score 1 easily. Negrete racing into second base, and he's going to trot in there standing and lackadaisically with a double. So that, now the 7th RBI that he's collected in just 2 contests. He is torching Evansville as it brings Chris Burgess. On the average for him. Right-handed bat. Last night went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. So looking to improve upon that. The first pitch to him with the runner standing on second base. Never mind, as a step off from Scott forces Negrete to go straight back. So 1-0 Three Rivers, top 1. 2 hits already on the board for the Eagles. And for the second straight night, the Otters trail after the first inning as the first pitch is inside to Burgess. 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 from Scott. Hanger, but no swing, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top 1. Scott looks in. And the pitch. Bullseye, 1-2. Taking a little bit off that fastball now. That one just on the inner half. Wind starting to howl in from right. Scott looks into Felix. Agrees and sets on the third base side. He works out of the stretch with Negrete on second. The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Braden Scott gives through the first inning, only giving up 1 run on 2 hits. Otters look to get one back. We go to the bottom half of 1 here in the Otters Digital Network.
Catalyst Church Food Pantry is honored to be the nonprofit partner of Friday, May 23rd's Otters game. Catalyst Church invites the community, but also the churches from the tri-state to come and unite as one game, as one church, around one cause. Catalyst Church invites each person to bring at least one, if not more, non-perishable food item for their food pantry to continue helping the Evansville community. A great night of baseball is planned, and post-game fireworks are just part of the fun. More information can be found on Catalyst Church Evansville's Facebook page.
Back here at historic Bosse Field, 1-0. The score, Trois-Rivieres in front of Evansville. Trois-Rivieres sending Jessen Therian on the mound. We'll see how he fares. The former Philadelphia Philly pitched 15 games with the Phillies back in 2017 before undergoing 2 Tommy John surgeries before he returned to baseball in 2023. All 3 of those years, from 23 to now, have been spent with Trois-Rivieres. So we'll see how he fares. Had a decent first year with Trois-Rivieres back in 23, has since been fine. First pitch to Alay Camo. Taken for a strike, 0-1.
And it's going to be important to kind of bounce back after that rough first inning. And really try to put some runners on base and try to put a run on the board if you can to try to bounce back.
0-1, chopped high on the ground to Hilton, who fields and steps on the bag himself for an easy first out. Brings up Graham Brown, who has really struggled so far this year. Just 1 double, a 125 batting average. Right-handed bat. Therian with a 4-pitch mix. Fastball, sinker, slider, change. Goes the slider more than the fastball. The first pitch to Brown. Right in there for a strike, 0-1 at 90.
And you see Therian just going right at these batters early. And after last night where the Eagles really struggled with command, this is a good sign from the Eagles pitcher.
0-1, socked in the air, right field. Back on it, Negrete. Still back, somewhat deep, but catches it before it gets to the track. 2 away.
Well hit, but just a loud out number 2. That's all it really ends up being.
Brings up now David Mindom with 2 gone, nobody on base.
The first baseman, number 34, David Minton.
Mindom, real strong start to the season. Left-handed bat. Slightly open stance, nothing crazy. The first pitch to him is taken outside, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Therian winds and deals. That one taken all the way. Seems like he was taking until he got a strike, 1-1. Mindom currently with a 4-game hitting streak to begin the season. The 1-1 pitch. Binder in there. 1-2. Therian working quickly. That one just hitting the top of the zone. So count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck, L.J. Jones. The pitch. Swung on, bounced right back to Therian. Look what I found. Tosses over to first, out number 3. So 1, 2, 3 go the Otters. 1-0 still. Eagles on top. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Back here, historic Bosse Field. Ready for the top half of the second. Braden Scott in his second inning of work gave up 2 hits and a run in that first inning. See how he does here now against his bottom third. He will face John Montez, Justin Farmer, and Brandon Hilton.
Big welcome in Section 18 to Farm Credit.
Scott, left-handed pitcher. That was his first run. He had given up all year. Riley Angel alongside Lucas Macklin. Remember, the Home Team Network is the exclusive home of every Frontier League game this year. Check out Home Team Network to sign up today and get a front row seat to every Otters game this season. The pitcher-catcher battery tonight, obviously, is Braden Scott and Justin Felix. That pitcher-catcher battery is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. Here comes John Montez, the second baseman, a last-minute replacement there at second base as the first pitch to the lefty. Swung on, fouled right back.
And for Braden Scott here, you really just kind of want to settle back in and figure this out, because obviously you're already down here, but you want to keep your team in it as much as you can, and it's going to be interesting to see how he bounces back.
Jamer and over to third base. Foul. 0-2. Lefty v. lefty here. Here is the pitch. Swung on, rolled over to Cruz, who fields and throws for out number 1.
It's a big out number 1 there for Braden Scott. Get back into this game, settle back down, and just keep your team alive.
Comes Justin Farmer. Farmer, 278 hitter, 3 ribbies. Plays a really good center field. Did collect a single last night. It's the first pitch to him. Swung on, jam shot, well foul into the Otters bullpen. Braden Scott, big rhythm guy. Seems like whenever he's going well, he's not going to stop going well, as the 0-1 pitch now to Farmer. Swung on, hit up the middle, base hit, just past J.J. Cruz. Little jam shot right back up the gut, and it's going to be a 1-out single for Justin Farmer, already the 3rd hit of the day for the Eagles.
And Montez, that's his first hit of the series so far. Just hit right back up the middle.
Brings up Brandon Hilton. Hilton has been scorching hot for this Three Rivers team to start the year. Batting all the way down to the 8 spot. First pitch to the lefty. Runner goes, fouled off. Opposite way, 0-1. The big left-handed batter, standing 6 feet 8 inches tall. Listed at 260. It's a big boy.
And the Otters did a good job last night keeping off base, only went 1 for 4. Hopefully you can do something similar here.
The 0-1 taken inside, 1-1. So count even, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on first base. 1-0, Trois-Rivieres. Scott sets. Fires. Never mind, the pitch is made to first. But back safely is Justin Farmer. Huge hole the opposite way through the left side of the infield. Good to see Pavin Parks over there back on the left side. Playing third base tonight after missing a couple of games as the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled back, 1-2. And this Otters team, they really need his bat in the lineup.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how him and Ray Gill kind of get split up, both of them wanting to be third basemen. Obviously, both of them have been very good so far to start the year, both of them batting .500. So it's going to be interesting to see how Coach McCauley kind of plays through that this year.
Scott the pitch. Bender just high, 2-2.
It is hard to throw it as high to a guy like that, who stands at 6'8", is Brandon Hilton.
So count evened at 2 apiece. Here it is, lefty v lefty, runner goes. Swung on, socked in the air, left center field, racing towards it, Brown and Jones. Jones making the running catch, going into left center. Relay throw back in, not nearly in time. It's scampering back to first base is Justin Farmer. 1 gone. 2 gone.
And a great read there by L.J. Jones. We talk a lot about his bat, but great defensive play there in left field. Had a lot of ground there to cover and did it very quickly.
Brings up Edward Sanchez, shortstop. Just 1 for 2 on the season, but that 1 hit got him 2 RBI. First pitch to the Eagles shortstop is taken down central, 0-1. Scott sets once more. The 0-1. Never mind, it's tossed over to first base and Farmer easily back. So no balls, 1 strike. Now the pitch to Edward Sanchez. Swung on, hit in the air. Shallow, foul territory over on the right side. Mindham under it, makes the catch for out number 3. So Scott works around a base runner that time. We now go to the bottom half of 2, 1-0 Eagles on the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Back here at Bossy Field, 1-0 Trois-Rivieres. Otters went down 1, 2, and 3 in the first inning here against Jessen Therian. We'll see how he does here. Jessen with a pretty cool story. As mentioned, played with the Philadelphia Phillies for 15 games before having to undergo Tommy John surgery. Therian, while he was out of baseball, was able to give back in his home province. He is from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And the way baseball, at least youthfully, works in Canada is each province has their own provincial system. They have their own organization. But here in Therian's case, he is from Quebec, so he was with Baseball Quebec, that provincial system, made his way up, And eventually, after his time in professional baseball briefly, he became the director of operations for the Baseball Academy of Canada, so helping out the youth back at home. As the first pitch now to L.J. Jones is taken outside for a strike at 91. No balls, one strike. The 0-1 pitch now to Jones. Taken in, he's now in the hole 0-2. So Jessen definitely had stuff figured out outside of playing baseball. So he definitely didn't have to come back if he didn't want to, but felt as if his stuff was good enough to play professionally and make it back in the majors. And now 3 years later is the ace for this Trois-Rivieres squad. The 0-2 pitch to Jones. Taken outside, nice slider, but Jones spit on it.
Yeah, and really got into the full swing of things last year. Pitched 108 innings, and starting off this season really hot so far.
The 1-2. Outside, 2-2. He spoke in an article written by Eric LeBlanc that, it's not a question of the talent or the stuff, it's how consistent he can get it out of him. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, high pop-up right side. Coming in on it is Montez, but calling off everybody is Sanchez, the shortstop, who will make the play on the grass behind the mound. So 4 straight sent down for Therian to start this ball game, bringing up Paven Parks. Big power hitting lefty. Has an RBI in the year, 3 for his first 6.
A quick first 4 outs there for Therian, only 13 pitches pitched so far.
Parks awaiting the first pitch. Taken outside, 1-0. And I'll tell you what, watching Paven Parks take batting practice might be the favorite part of my day every day here at Bosse Field. This guy, as the 1-0 offering, is taken for a strike, 1-1.
He's got an easy swing. He's got a lot of power in that easy swing as well.
Yeah, I mean, he just goes up there and just goes after it. Just gets after it. Here's the 1-1. Taken just on the corner, nicking it. 1-2. Parks a bit of a bend at the knees after that call made, but it was dotted down and away. Here is the 1-2 to Parks. Swung on and missed out in front of the slider. First strikeout on the night for Jessen, and that's 5 straight sent down, bringing up J.T. Benson.
Batting 6, the right fielder, number 31, J.T. Benson.
Really need to try to find a way to just keep this inning live. Just make them work a little bit more, because you haven't really the entire game so far.
As the first pitch to Benson is checked on, look over to first. It is a swing, so it's first base umpire Gary Glover. The 0-1. Outside. Yeah, you're right. I mean, this Otters team, if they want to get to Therian, as the 1-1 pitch is taken for a strike, 1-2. They got to make him work a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And you can see Therian right here. He's not exactly a guy who's going to blow you away, pitching at 90 miles per hour right now. But similar to some of the other pitchers we see in the Otters rotation, just puts it in the right place.
1-2, swung on and missed into the inning. Put it in the right place there for sure. 2 strikeouts to Parks and Benson to end the second. 6 straight Otters sent down here on the Otters Digital Network.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library. Catalyst Church Food Pantry is honored to be the nonprofit partner of Friday, May 23rd's Otters game. Catalyst Church invites the community, but also the churches from the tri-state to come and unite as one game, as one church, around one cause. Catalyst Church invites each person to bring at least one, if not more, non-perishable food item for their food pantry to continue helping the Evansville community. A great night of baseball is planned, and post-game fireworks are just part of the fun. More information can be found on Catalyst Church Evansville's Facebook page.
Back here in Evansville, the Otters trail Trois-Rivieres 1-0 currently. We'll see how Braden Scott works here in this third inning. Riley Angel alongside Lucas Macklin. Lucas, if just in theory is going to be on his game the way he has been so far, it really puts a lot of pressure on Braden Scott to deliver when he's on the bump.
Yeah, and overall he hasn't done too horribly bad. Just giving up 3 hits. Did go up that 1 RBI hit to Negret, but other than that, he's done pretty well. He hasn't walked anyone yet so far, which was his real big issue in the first game. So it's good to see him really find the zone in this one and see if he can keep pounding the zone for this.
Brings up LP Pelletier to let off the game with a single back in the first. First pitch to him is taken in there for a strike at 89, 0-1. Pelletier really struggled the first part of the season. Maybe that single will get him going as he fouls that one off 0-2.
You can see right here, Scott really just going right at him to start this inning.
So no balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff man. Big hole up the middle if he hits it there. The pitch. Swung on, fouled off. Overhead. You know what that means? The overhead foul ball is brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it.
Yeah, Pelletier in his first at-bat got a base hit with 2 strikes on him, so we'll see if he does something similar here.
The 0-2. Swung on, popped up, well foul.
That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best.
Top 3, 1-0 Trois-Rivieres. Scott's heading on the third base side of the rubber. Steps back, kicks, fires. Outside. 1-2. A lot of day games around the Frontier League today. Only a couple of nightcaps as the 1-2 pitch. Swung on right back up the middle on the ground for a base hit. So LP with a quick 2-hit day. Bringing up David Vinsky.
And I mentioned both of those coming with 2 strikes, so done a good job with his 2-strike approach in leading it off in both of those innings.
Definitely a guy that if he can get going, this top third or top 4 really, very dangerous, at least so far in the beginning of the year as the first pitch to Vinsky is taken as a breaker for a strike. His first 4 are very dangerous for the Eagles.
1,000%. They really struggled to start the year, and the bottom half was the part of the lineup that was really doing well. And if they get going, it's going to be a potentially really dangerous lineup.
The 0-1 to Vinsky. Taken for a strike, 0-2. Vinsky rocking that torpedo bat. We talked about it a little bit. Bit of a fad at the beginning of the year around Major League Baseball affiliate ball as well. Vinsky sticking with it. The 0-2 pitch to him. Swung on, popped him up, foul territory. Count stays.
Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it.
This lineup for Trois-Rivieres is loaded with right-handed bats against the lefty and Braden Scott as the 0-2 to Vinsky. Runner goes. Taken low and away. The throw not nearly in time and well low from Justin Felix. Second stolen base for Pelletier.
He said low. Skipped it off the pitcher's mound there. Looked like he slipped. Looked like he slipped when he tried to throw it. So unfortunate there, and another stolen base for Pelletier.
So for the second time that Pelletier has reached in a row, he turns a single into a double Now the 1-2 offering to David Vinsky. Out of the stretch goes Scott. Swung on, line drive, softly hit into right center field. In on it is the diving JT Benson, but he can't come up with it. Going to third base will be Pelletier, and 2 straight singles to begin this third inning for the Eagles.
And this feels like a really big moment here for the Otters, especially with the way Therian's pitching on the other side. Really need to limit the damage here, but tough part of the lineup for this to be happening in.
Here's Omar Maragildo, grounded out to short in the first, and man, he just can't get anything to find a hole, it seems like. Scott now working with runners on the corners. And the first pitch to Omar is taken high. 1-0. Seems that Scott just doesn't have the feel for the breaking stuff right now. That last hit he gave up to Vinsky was a breaking ball, center cut. That last one, an 80-mile-per-hour breaker inside. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, line drive up the middle, base hit. That's going to score one easily. They're sending Vinsky to third base. He's going to stay there, and they're just trading places at this point. 2-0, Trois-Rivieres, runners on the corners. RBI single from Maragildo.
Eagles just doing a really good job at waiting for the pitch and finding it, and when they do, they're put into the outfield.
Brings up Juan Carlos Negrete. RBI double back in the first. Still nobody out here in this top of the third. One already home. 2-0, Trois-Rivieres, runners on the corners. The pitch from Scott is taken low. 1 ball, no strikes. Scott sets, looks in, and delivers the 1-0. It's going to be just nicking the top of the zone, 1-1. If you're just joining us on the Home Team Network, 2-0 Trois-Rivieres. They scored 1 in the first off of the bat of this guy, Juan Carlos Negrete. And then Omar Maragildo just now with an RBI single to put them up 2. The 1-1. Swung on, popped him up, foul territory. On the other side, Trois-Rivieres with a good start so far from Jason Therian, who has sent down 6 straight.
Big opportunity here to just try to find a way to get this guy out. 5 for 6 so far on the series.
The 1-2 from Scott. Swung on high, pop-up behind the plate. Felix looking towards it near the Otters dugout, but well foul. So count stays at 1-2. Juan Carlos with a nice at-bat here. Three straight hits here from the top 3 guys in the Eagles order. Scott ahead in the count, 1-2. And the pitch to Negrete. Taken in the dirt, 2-2. On the bouncer, runner goes, throw down, and he got him. So Maragildo cut down, trying to swipe an extra base.
There's a huge out number 1 there for the Otters for Braden Scott to just get into rhythm here. And again, you got Negrete at 2 strikes here. If you can try to get him potentially even swinging, all of a sudden you have a chance to get out of this inning while limiting the damage.
Scott looking into Felix, putting down the sides, and now Stetz. The 2-2. Just wide. Count full of a payoff. So the past 2 have been breaking balls. The 2 previous to that were fast ones from Scott. We'll see what he does here on 3-2 against the very dangerous Juan Carlos Negrete. The pitch. Thought about it, but did not go around, and takes ball 4 on the outer half.
And that's one that you'll give up with the way he's been hitting the ball so far. You do not want to give him anything over the middle of the plate because you know he will take advantage. So a walk there sets up the double play, chance to get out of the inning here. Not a bad walk at all.
Here's Chris Burgess, struck out, swinging back in the first. He has now struck out 4 times already in this series so far, and we're only a game and a third of the way through.
Just one of the guys in the lineup just hasn't been able to find his bat so far.
Right-handed batter sets, and Scott, the left-handed pitcher, fires. Swung on, fly ball right field. Back on it, Benson should be playable fairly deep, and he makes the catch. That'll score the runner at third, and Vinsky, and it's 3-0 Trois-Rivieres.
I mean, that's got to feel really good, even though it's not a hit. But for Burgess, who just hasn't been able to really do anything so far this series, to do something to help your team out must feel fantastic for him.
Now here's John Montez, a last-minute replacement here in the lineup as the first pitch to the left-hander is swung on, off the end, in the air to left. Jones under it, dancing around out there, but does make the catch for out number 3. So we now go to the bottom half of 3. Otters trail by 3. It's 3-0 Trois-Rivieres here on the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Hello everyone, welcome back to 23 Don Mattingly Way from wherever you're hearing us, whether it be on the Otters Digital Network or on the Home Team Network. I do want to let you know that the Home Team Network is the exclusive home of every Frontier League game this year. Check out Home Team Network to sign up today and get a front row seat to every Otters game in 2025. I'm Riley Angel alongside Lucas Macklin. Lucas, this pitcher for Trois-Rivieres in theory, and he has sent 6 straight down, and he's looked like what he was advertised as.
I mean, you pretty much just said it all right there, but really for the Otters, you just kind of got to realize, I mean, you were in this situation last night, and you're able to come back. It's still early. You're only down 3, even though it feels like it could and honestly should be more. You still have a big opportunity in this game to potentially fight back on it, and just starts at one at-bat at a time, just working the count, working the at-bat, trying to get on base and move the line along.
Brings up second baseman J.J. Cruz, 182 the average, a double, and RBI. Left-handed bat stands fairly close to the plate as the pitch to him is swung on and missed, 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike, no outs. Here it is. Swung on, chopped foul, 0-2. Therian working quickly too. I mean, he gets the ball and he's going.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in a groove, you just want to keep going. You don't want to wait. You just want to get in, get out.
Stands on the far first base side of the rubber. The pitch. Swung on the ground sharply past the reaching glove of Hilton. It just bounced up on him. And that will most likely go down as a single for J.J. Cruz. Never mind, they're going to count that as an E3 against Brandon Hilton.
That's one of those 50-50 calls from the scoring department. Not sure if I agree, but I'm not the one making the call there. That was a tough bounce for Hilton. It was hit really hard as well. So either way, great job from J.J. Cruz getting on base there and getting the Otters potentially going here.
Brings up Justin Felix. Hard hit RBI single last night along with a couple of walks. First pitch to him. Takes it. Check swing. Did he go around? No, says Gary Glover. We talk about Mendham's eye at the plate a lot, but Justin Felix, just as good and disciplined.
He has been fantastic at being patient, You know, you can see only a 162 average, but a 500 OBP. He's done a great job waiting for his pitch and taking walks when they're given to him. You know, 3 walks on the season so far. So, again, when you're at this part of the lineup, it's a fantastic ability to just be patient, wait, and if you're given a walk, take the walk.
The 2 balls, no strike pitch from Therian. Swung on, bounce on the ground. Taylor made, field by Sanchez. Throw to second in time, throw to first, not nearly.
And that first throw from the short to second baseman was bounced a little bit, so all things being considered, great play there from the second baseman, John Montez, to pick it up and still be able to have a chance to throw it to first, but Felix running it out, still broke up the double play, so only 1 away.
Brings up Mason White, who's still looking for his first hit of the season. He's 0 for 3 on the year thus far. Therian with the first pitch to White. It's taken out on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Mason White, one of those guys where he'll get looks every once in a while in the lineup as the 0-1 pitch way out in front, swung on and missed, 0-2. Really just trying to, Andy McCauley is, just trying to balance the lineup, I feel like, with a good amount of left-handed hitters with the right-handed pitcher in Therian on the bump.
And also, you just want to get these guys some opportunities to potentially even just get in a groove and get going, because it can be hard when you're only getting sparse at-bats here and there.
The 0-2 is a backdoor breaker that just missed, 1-2. Especially early on in the season when you haven't seen that much live pitching. I mean, we have a preseason, but it's really the first time you see guys A-plus stuff. As the 1-2 offering. Swung on, bounced on the ground to second. Charging as Montez flips to second base, throws it into left field. Trying to take third is Justin Felix. He'll get there standing. And that's going to be 2 errors here in the inning against the Eagles.
And that is a huge break for the Otters. And now all of a sudden you have an opportunity that has been gifted from the Eagles to potentially break into this lead and just chip at it away, even if it is slowly.
You got to feel bad for Therian here. I mean, he should be up and out of this inning, 9 straight sitting down, but not quite like that.
Even on that first base one, even if it would be considered a hit, it was considered an error, but even if it was a hit, it's one that you would like your first baseman to make the play either way.
Camo takes the first pitch down and in. Camo, the Edward Jones leadoff batter of the game for the Otters. He's 0 for 1, grounded out to Hilton in the first time. Works with runners on the corners here. Therian sets, looks in. Fires the 0-1. Runner goes. Ball taken outside. Burgess with a throw down. It is not quite in time. Mason White with a steal. And just like that, that double play opportunity is gone. Runners now in scoring position at second and third.
Mentioned that in the pregame, 17 stolen bases last year. Gets this first one there. You know, whenever you only are playing part-time, when you have an opportunity to make a difference, you really want to. And great jump there, great stolen base, and huge opportunity here for the Otters.
Camo awaits the 1-1. Here it is. Swung on, line drive, just hooking foul down the right field line. That ball is smashed.
That is a tough break, just a little bit too far out in front. Sit back on it just a little bit longer. You know, all of a sudden that 3-run lead's only a 1-run lead, and this game looks completely different.
Otters trying to break through here in the third. Therian sets. Fires the 1-2. Swung on, bounce on the ground a second. This will score 1. Montez fields and throws for out number 2, but the Otters do get on the board for the first time today on the RBI ground out.
Yeah, when 2 strikes there, you just want to make sure you do put the ball in play and you get at least that 1 run. And hopefully that's just the start of this one for the Otters here.
Brings up Graham Brown, who's 0 for 1, flew out deep to right field his first time. Chance to get his first RBI. The pitch. swung on and missed a bit late on that 92-mile-per-hour heater. The 0-1. Nice breaking ball in there for a strike. Therian, never a guy that really blew you away with the fastball, even in the big, sat at just about 93 miles per hour on average. The 0-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. Made it look easy against Graham Brown. 3 straight strikes. But the Otters do get one back. We go to the top half of 4. 3-1, Trois-Rivieres here on the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Welcome back into Bosse Field as the Otters have cracked into that lead a little bit as the Eagles lead the Otters 3-1 as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Braden Scott still on the mound. Currently worked 3 total innings, has given up those 3 earned runs. But hopefully, again, he can still give a little bit of length here and just keep the lead where it's at for the Eagles.
Absolutely. And again, the way that Therian is pitching on the other side, Scott has to feel a little bit of pressure to go out there and perform well. I mean, the only reason the Otters were able to scratch across a run is because of a couple of errors and an RBI ground out. So it's not like the Otters are hitting the ball hard. There are a couple of at-bats where they're hitting the ball hard, but they've also struck out 3 times already. All 3 of those in the past 2 innings. Yeah. So as Therian starts to settle in, we could see runs get even harder to come by. And now with it being Therian's second start, he could go up to 6-7 innings. So Scott really needs to settle in here in this 4th.
Braden Scott, 3 innings pitched, 6 hits given up, has walked 1, struck out 1, and given up those 3 earned runs. And we'll see what he can do here against the Eagles in the top of the 4th inning. Braden Scott mentioned that's his 4th year with the Otters. Spent time in 2021, 2023, and 2024 with the Evansville Otters. Also spent a couple of years in the minor leagues with a couple of different teams. Justin Farmer will be leading it off here for the Eagles as we get set. Do you notice if there's something that the Eagles have done differently that has gotten to Scott in this outing?
I just feel like they're not waiting too long. It seemed like in Scott's first outing against Gateway really wanted to drive that pitch count up, and Scott just got in the zone really quickly once he got out of that first inning. Seems like the Eagles have noticed that, maybe watched a little film on Scott, and they're attacking quickly.
Here comes the first pitch from Scott. That one is hit into the right field. Converging on it is JT Benson. It drops into fair territory. And Jordan Farmer with the first pitch double to get the Eagles started here in the top of the 4th inning. Looks like Andy McCauley's going to go out and talk with that umpire out there. It was right on the line. You have a better angle with it. Do you think that was fair or foul?
I mean, from where I was sitting, it seemed like it hit probably about 2 inches outside of fair territory. It's definitely a tough call to make, especially when Benson is coming in and diving after it with that white jersey. But, I mean, we'll see. Either way, I mean, no replay review in this league, so it's going to be tough to overturn even when you do have this conversation.
Yeah, we'll see if maybe one of the other Blues saw it differently. Maybe the home plate umpire saw it differently. But, yeah, it's going to be tough to overturn that one. Looks like they'll keep Farmer at second. JT Benson Made a diving attempt at it, just couldn't make the catch. And hometown fans are going to make their disapproval heard.
First baseman, 20.
It's not the first time we've heard them disagree with a call out there. But either way, that'll be a leadoff double for Justin Farmer. That'll bring up the first baseman, Brandon Hilton.
Dude, what Andy McCauley's got to be careful here. He's still talking in the dugout.
Hilton 0 for 1 on the day, flew out to left field in his first at-bat. Tall lefty in the left-hander's batter's box. Scott will come set. Comes the first pitch to Hilton. That one is ripped towards second baseman. Cruz will take it in, make the grab, throw to first in time for out number 1. So 2 pitches so far in this inning, runner on third with 1 away. That one, according to TrackMan, came off the bat at 107. But just went right to J.J. Cruz. Good job by Cruz to maintain composure. And early in this game, Otters defense playing a little bit in here. Trying to keep this lead at 2. Edward Sanchez, next batter. First pitch to him, taken just low for ball 1. Sanchez in his first game, at least against the Otters here. In the right-handed batter's box. Next pitch to him, taken low as well. Quickly ahead 2-0. Eagles with their win last night went to 2-3 on the season, trying to get back to 500 early in this one, early this year. Next pitch from Scott. That one taken way inside, just missed hitting him. Quickly ahead is Sanchez 3-0. And with Pelletier waiting on deck with 2 hits already in this game. I mean, barring a double play, you're probably going to face him either way, but really don't want to give him another runner on base. That pitch taken in there for strike 1. Sanchez threw his bat to the dugout. Calls time. I don't think he meant to try to show up the umpire. That was a pitch that right around the bottom right-hand corner of the zone, so count at 3-1 now. Scott, the lefty, comes set and comes to the plate. That one taken in there for strike 2. He almost did it again. Sanchez in the motion of throwing his bat to the dugout. That one was much closer in the zone. So count now full. Sanchez doesn't swung yet in this at bat. Payoff pitch from Scott. Foul tip back. He stays alive. Sanchez, 5 foot, standing at 5'11" out of the Dominican Republic. 3-2 pitch. That one rips right toward Cruz, makes the grab, and a second out will keep that runner at third, and will bring Pelletier to the plate, now needing a base hit to get that runner home.
Man, that has to be so frustrating for these Eagles hitters. You hit 2 at 100 or over in a row, and both of them just right at J.J. Cruz for outs.
And I got to say, that was taken right where I couldn't see him, right in my blind spot where that pillar stands. So I was unsure if he brought it in, but you made the little fist bump, and I knew he did. So 2 away. Bring up Pelletier, swinging at the first pitch. That one way up in the zone. And quickly ahead is Braden Scott 0-1. Pelletier already has a 2-hit game. Went 1 for 5 last night. That pitch checks a swing, but he did go. So quickly ahead is Braden Scott 0-2 ahead of Pelletier, and a chance to get him out for the first time today.
Scott got it up there to 92 on that pitch.
2 hits, 2 runs for Pelletier. Both of those came when he was leading off an inning. Scott, here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one chopped towards Camo. He'll take in the bouncer, throw to first in time for out number 3. So Scott works around a leadoff double and keeps the Eagles off the board as the Otters come to bat in the bottom of the 4th, trying to tie this one up. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library. Catalyst Church Food Pantry is honored to be the nonprofit partner of Friday, May 23rd's Otters game. Catalyst Church invites the community, but also the churches from the tri-state to come and unite as one game, as one church, around one cause. Catalyst Church invites each person to bring at least one, if not more, non-perishable food item for their food pantry to continue helping the Evansville community. A great night of baseball is planned, and post-game fireworks are just part of the fun. More information can be found on Catalyst Church Evansville's Facebook page.
Welcome back to Bossy Field as the Otters come to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning, trying to cut into that lead once again. Hello, everybody. My name is Lucas Macklin. Alongside me is my partner, Riley Angel, and we are witnessing a very, very good outing here from the ace of the Eagles, Jason Therian. Giving up that one run obviously was unearned, as he hasn't even given up a hit or a walk yet.
Yeah, I mean, just really tough luck there in the third inning, as you mentioned. But, I mean, other than that, he has been perfect. As you said, no hits given up, just 2 errors. So the run he gave up, not even an earned run. So we'll see how he continues to battle here.
David Mendham will lead off this fourth inning. Takes that first pitch in there for a strike. Also has 3 strikeouts, does Therian in this one. Mendham 0 for 1 on the day. Next pitch to him. That one lifted towards left center. And that will get down for a base hit. So Mendham is on, and he will be chasing towards second. Throw in is not going to be in time. And a hustle play from David Mendham extends a base hit into a double. And the Otters are in business here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
It's great base running there from David Mendham. Noticed as he was taking the round at first base that Pelletier was taking his time getting it back into the infield, decided to go full speed ahead into second, slid in feet first, and got there pretty easy for that double.
And it looked like that ball may have hit the lip of the grass or just bounced really hard. That thing almost bounced over, I believe it was Montez's head. So fortunate it didn't. Now LJ Jones' first pitch bounced back to the pitcher. He'll look Mendham back, throw over first. So a quick out number 1 for LJ Jones there. And so with 1 away, that will bring up the power-hitting Paven Parks. Parks struck out in his first at-bat today.
Number 11, Paven Parks.
He's got an opportunity here with a runner in scoring position to once again just keep trying to cut into that lead. You know, you don't have to get it all back here with 1 swing, although he may be very well capable of that. Parks steps into the plate, into the left-handed batter's box. His back foot on the line. That one fouled off. That first pitch fouled off to the left.
Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction.
Paven Parks out of Akron, Ohio. Played for Kent State in college. As a former draft pick in 2018 and in 2019. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to him. Swung through on that one. So quickly behind 0-2 here. Parks at 28. Joined the Otters halfway through the season and quickly became one of the best bats in the lineup. Also did some pitching for them as well last year. Comes the 0-2 pitch. He tips that one and stays alive. That one went off the catcher Burgess. Had a couple of foul balls go off of him last night.
Yeah, he had a rough day yesterday.
Fortunately, that one didn't seem to hit anywhere too badly, anyway. Therian steps off and gets back onto the rubber. He now comes set. Mindham at second being held on by Sanchez. 0-2 pitch. Swung on a miss for strike 3. So quickly 2 away after that leadoff double. Bring up JT Benson. Once again, just trying to cut into that lead and hoping for a base hit to just get Mindham home. This is the 4th strikeout for Therian in this one. As he comes set. First pitch, hit up the middle for a base hit. Benson will round first. Mindham will be sent home. Throw to the plate will be, pull him up the line, not in time. Mindham will score. An RBI base hit, extended to a double for JT Benson as he gets to second. Cuts the lead down to 1. The throw from Justin Farmer pulled Burgess up the line just a little bit. No chance to tag Mindham. Benson, the speedster out of Louisville, took that single and got himself to second after that throw home. And so now with 2 away, brings up J.J. Cruz and a chance to tie it with a base hit now. That one will be scored a single for J.T. Benson that he extended on the fielder's choice on the throw home. And so now we'll have a quick conversation on the mound between Burgess and Therian. So some aggressive running there from Mindham. First on the hit that he had, then on that hit from JT Benson. Benson hit that one right back up the middle. Therian tried to put a glove on it, but couldn't. And got right through the gap between Montez and Sanchez.
With how hard that ball was hit and how short the outfield grass has been cut, it was mowed twice today. I mean, that ball was skipping real fast to Farmer, who just yanked the throw a little bit up that third base line, which is why Mindham was safe and could get there standing.
Therian comes set. First pitch here to J.J. Cruz. He takes that one inside for ball 1. Cruz 0 for 1 on the day. Steps into the left-handed batter's box. Next pitch to him taken outside for ball 2. Cruz got on by what was called an error after he hit that ball towards first base last time. Therian comes set. Comes the 2-0 pitch to Cruz. He takes that one inside, so quickly ahead 3-0 now. Justin Felix, the catcher, waits on deck. Obviously not wanting to just put him on with a free pass, but at the same time don't want to give him anything he can do damage with. 3-0 pitch from Therian. That one's taken outside for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to J.J. Cruz, and that will bring up the catcher, Justin Felix, with a couple of runners on. That one is a Deerhead Sidewalk Cafe and Bar for J.J. Cruz. As the first walk of the game for Jason Therian.
Justin Felix.
Justin Felix comes to the plate, and a huge opportunity here for the Otters. Once again, a base hit could very well tie it, especially with Benson's speed. An extra base hit could potentially even give them the lead. Therian comes set. Comes the first pitch to the catcher. Hacks at that one, but gets nothing for strike at 1. Justin Felix also working on 0 for 1 day, reached by a fielder's choice and ended up scoring the lone run for the Otters. Next pitch to Felix, hacks at that one as well, comes up with nothing again. Quickly behind 0-2 as Felix takes time.
The thing with Therian's fastball is it's at 92. Yes, it's fast, but it really has only rise. It's a very straight fastball, not a ton of horizontal break either way like we've seen some of these guys have. So I think once the Otters get this third time through the order, we might see some more success against that fastball.
Therian comes set. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Felix. Takes that one outside, but that one's called strike 3 on the outside corner. So Therian gets out of the inning, giving up 1 run, but maintaining the lead for the Eagles. After a short break, we'll come back to the top of the 5th inning here on the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com.
Braden Scott back out on the mound for another inning of work. And so is all-you-can-eat wings and fries at Buffalo Wild Wings, Mondays through Thursday, now including traditional wings. That's right, all the wings and fries you can eat with your favorite sauce. Just $19.99 for boneless and $24.99 for traditional wings. So get all the heavy hitters together and head to Buffalo Wild Wings, Mondays through Thursdays for a limited time. Dine-in only. Visit either Evansville locations at 5405 Pearl Drive and 715 North Green River Road for details. As I mentioned, Braden Scott back out on the mound for another inning of work. And it hasn't been as smooth sailing as the first outing, but still done a pretty good job, all things being considered.
Yeah, I mean, he's given up a lot of traffic, but the way he's been able to get out of it has been really impressive. I mean, he gave up a leadoff double in the 4th, and the way this lineup was swinging it after a leadoff double, we thought that run was for sure going to score, but 2 hard hit outs later and a soft ground out to shortstop, and he is out of it. Hopefully he can continue to do that. Haven't seen the strikeout numbers be where we want to see it for him. He's only had 1 strikeout so far, but we'll see if he makes any adjustments to try and get these hitters to miss.
Say with that only 1 walk given up, that was to the dangerous Negrete. So he's been pretty accurate with his pitches, but this free swinging Eagles team has been all over him, but only given up 3 runs. So leading it off here for the Eagles will be David Vinsky as he gets into the right-handed batter's box. First pitch from Scott, fouled back, overhead. You know what that means? It's an overhead foul ball brought to you by Head Construction. Choose the best and never regret it. So with that foul ball, Scott is ahead 0-1. Comes the next pitch from Scott, taken high. Count moves to 1-1. Braden Scott was born in Bloomington, Indiana, played for his hometown team, Indiana Hoosiers, for 3 seasons and was one of their best pitchers during his career. Next pitch from Scott is taken high for ball 2.
To Christy, Brian, and Kathy for being here tonight at the game. Go Otters.
39 appearances for the Hoosiers, had a 3.25 ERA in 55 innings at a 13.2 K per 9 while he was there. Next pitch from Scott. Curves in there for strike 2, just hits the outside part of the plate. Count now at 2-2. Home plate umpire Zach Burr, a little bit of a delay on his strike calls. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Scott. Taken just high for ball 3. It's been some good vision there from David Vinsky in this at-bat. Vinsky went 2 for 5 in the opener last night. Had a 2 RBI base hit. Currently working on a 1 for 2 day. He also scored 1 of their 3 runs. Comes the payoff pitch from Scott. Taken in there for strike 3. So a quick out number 1. That German-American Bank strikeout. Braden Scott's 2nd of the ball game. And that will bring up the 3rd baseman, Amar Maragildo. Maragildo got his first hit of the series in his first at-bat today. Got an RBI on that base hit. Working on a 1 for 2 day. As Scott from the windup, here comes the first pitch. Hefty swing from Maragildo. Comes up empty for strike 1. That one was right over the heart of the plate. Just got it right by him. 0-1 pitch to him. That one's taken just low for ball 1. Scott comes set. And from the windup, here comes the 1-1 pitch. That one's taken high for ball 2. So quickly behind 2-1 now on the third baseman for the Eagles. Next pitch from Scott. That one chopped foul, so count moves to 2-2 now. Braden Scott now at 4 1/3 innings pitched, giving up those 3 runs. 1 in the first inning, gave up 2 in the third inning. Otters got one back in the bottom of the third inning and then got one back in the bottom of the fourth inning. Here in the top of the fifth inning, Eagles up 3-2. Swing and a miss from Marigildo for out number 2. Back-to-back German-American baked strikeouts for Braden Scott. So 2 away. It will bring up the hottest hitter in the ballpark right now, Juan Carlos Negret.
Just as we were talking about, getting his strikeout numbers up 2 in a row, all of a sudden 4.
Yeah, and that one was at 90 miles per hour, up and in. Marigildo just couldn't catch up. First pitch, Negret, taken in there for strike 1. That one a little bit even longer of a delay from home plate umpire Zach Burr, but gave the call to Scott. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Scott. Foul back, so quickly ahead of Negret, 0-2. But this is a guy who's done well at hitting with 2 strikes so far this entire series, so not out of the woods by any means. Negret working on a 1-for-1 day. Walked in his second at-bat. His first at-bat got an RBI base hit. Comes the 0-2 pitch. Swung on a miss for strike 3. Another German-American baked strikeout as Braden Scott strikes out the side. And with that, the top of the 5th comes to an end. When we come back, it'll be the bottom of the 5th inning. The Otters try to even this one up. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
Back into Bosse Field as Jason Therian is back on the mound once again for the Eagles. Mentioned him so far today. 4 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, given up 1 earned run, gave up 2 total runs. The Otters looking to try to work their way back in, scored 1 run each of the last couple of innings, and now try to continue to work against Therian here. Leading it off for the Otters in this inning will be the DH Mason White. Still looking for his first hit on the season. Here comes the first pitch to him. Ripped up the middle, off the glove of Therian. And the second baseman, Montez, won't have a play. So a boom shot from Mason White bounces off the glove of Therian and gets a base hit for Mason White. And the Otters get a hit to start the inning and a chance to try to break into this lead.
Man, that'll wake you up if you're a pitcher, won't it? I mean, he had to really get out of the way of that one. Just kicked off the heel there. I mean, Mason White scorched that ball right back to where it came from. Thankfully, Therian able to get out of the way.
And you hope that for Mason White, that's the hit that kind of opens up the floodgates. First pitch here, Camo squares around a bunt. Beautiful bunt to the third baseline. Marigildo picks up, only play over to 1. So with 1 away, Mason White gets sacrificed over to second. And that will bring up the center fielder, Graham Brown.
Center fielder, number 24, Graham Brown.
It was a bunt right there that was bunted a little bit too hard to be a base hit, but either way did the job perfectly and got Mason White over to second. Graham Brown looking for his first hit in this game. Currently 2 for 18 on the year, but does have 4 runs scored for the Otters. First pitch from Therian. Swing and a miss at strike 1. That pitch just on the outside part of the plate. So Therian quickly ahead 0-1 of Brown. Therian comes set. Here comes the 0-1. No, he actually checked back at second. Mason White is a threat to steal. We saw him steal base earlier. Don't know if they'll try to sneak third here with only 1 away. Therian comes set. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That one is fouled off back. So Therian quickly ahead 0-2. Jason Therian was a 17th round pick in 2011 by the Philadelphia Phillies. Spent 6 seasons in their minor league system and got his debut with the Phillies back in 2017. Comes the 0-2 pitch from Therian. That one is hit towards third baseman Marigoto. He'll pick it up. Mason White will stay at second, throw first. Too high, and Graham Brown will get on base. He'll chug towards second. Ball will get away. So another defensive error from the Eagles. Mason White advances to third. And all of a sudden, with only 1 away, runners in second and third, and you have your best hitter coming to the plate, Otters with a huge opportunity here.
Yeah, I mean, Trois-Rivieres, they weren't a great defensive team coming into this one. They had 4 errors in their first series, but 3 errors in 2 innings. I mean, that is ridiculous. And to throw it away from a first baseman who's 6 feet 8 inches tall, that's not a good throw if you can't hit a guy who's 6'8".
And Hilton, it did hit his glove. He jumped. It was too high. It looks like Graham Brown was going to beat the throw either way, but he missed it, and it bounced out of his glove, and Graham Brown did a great job advancing to second. So with 1 away, here comes David Mindham to the plate. Bounces that one foul. Quickly behind 0-1. Eagles defense playing in, trying to keep that tying run at third. Saw the Otters do it successfully earlier. See if the Eagles can match that. Third error of the game for the Eagles. Cost them a run earlier. Therian comes set. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That one fouled back. So quickly behind is Mindham at 0-2. And you can see Therian just going right after these hitters. Therian in his second game this year, in his first one, pitched 5 innings, faced 19 batters, only gave up 2 hits, and did give up 1 run. Mindham in the left-handed batter's box. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swung on a miss, and a rare strikeout for David Mindham is a huge out number 2 for Therian. And now you need a base hit here to score at least 1 to tie this one up.
L.J. Jones.
That does bring up L.J. Jones, who had a clutch double in last night's game that tied it then. A base hit here for him would almost certainly give the Otters the lead. Therian comes set. Here comes the first pitch. He'll take that one on the outside part of the plate for a strike 1. Therian comes set. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Takes that one outside. Count moves to 1-1 now.
L.J. Jones signed for these big situations. And you see a guy, the numbers he put up in affiliate ball, I mean, you expect him to come through in these type of at-bats.
L.J. Jones 0 for 2 on the day so far. Grounded out to the pitcher in the second at-bat. Therian will step off and readjust. Count at a 1-1. Eagles currently lead 3-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So the Otters threatening here to score once again. Therian will come set. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That one's taken in there for strike 2. Home
Yikes.
crowd once again not a fan of that call. Looks like they might have reasoning for that one, but either way, Count is 1-2. LJ Jones will take time and readjust himself.
It just kind of builds on it because with the way he calls balls and strikes, with it being so delayed when he calls a strike, when you see a pitch like that you expect not to be called remotely close to a strike, and he all of a sudden goes with the motion, it can be pretty shocking.
It's like those delayed foul calls in basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Therian to Jones. Swung on a miss for strike 3. So Therian gets out unharmed after the Otters threatened here. Score still 3-2. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library.
Be sure to come back and see us sometime. The only way to top us up is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the only way to get it is at Jersey Mike's because authentic ingredients make us some of us. Now located at 9.
We head to the top of the 6th inning as Brayton Scott out there for yet another inning.
Thanks, John.
Had some struggles there throughout some of those innings, but last inning looked fantastic and struck out the side, and we'll see what he can give the Otters here in the top of the 6th inning as they still try to come back from a 3-2 deficit.
And not only did he strike out the side, he struck out the 3 most dangerous hitters in this order, in Vinsky, Maragildo, and Negrete. So we'll now face 5, 6, and 7. They have had some success against him, but hopefully Scott has some confidence after a really good 5th.
And that will bring in the catcher, Chris Burgess. Got a sacrifice fly in his last at-bat. Time called. Not sure if it was by the umpire or if it was by the hitter. But either way, Scott was in the middle of his windup when he called it. So here comes the first pitch from Scott to Burgess. That one is taken in there for strike 1. Burgess still doesn't have a hit yet in this series. Did get that RBI, but 4 strikeouts so far. Next pitch to him. Checked his swing. Did he go? He did. So quickly behind 0-2 is Burgess. Burgess, the catcher today for the Eagles. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Scott. Takes that one, just missed. Count will move to 1-2. Scott feels like he's only throwing the ball harder as the game goes on. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one curves too low. Count moves to 2-2. That last fastball at 93 miles per hour. You know, and you kind of feel like his arm getting loosened up through this early season, potentially get even faster as the season goes on. That one by Burgess fouled off. Count stays at 2-2. Scott comes set. Here comes the pitch to him. That one is bounced towards first base, but foul. Braden Scott played last year for the Otters. Started 20 games. Pitched to a 4.17 ERA. Also spent some time with the York Revolution last year as well. Scott from the windup. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one is fouled back. Count stays at 2-2. While he was with York, he only pitched 5 2/3 innings. In those innings, he gave up 8 earned. From the windup again, the 2-2 pitch. That one is checked and taken for ball 3. So count will move to full now as Burgess continues to work this at bat.
Yeah, just a really good at bat here, starting to be a little frustrating for Braden Scott, I would imagine.
Payoff pitch taken for ball 4 as Burgess flips the bat backwards. Once again, just struggling so far in this series. Must feel a little bit lethargic to get that walk. And that will bring in the second baseman, John Montes.
Yeah, Braden Scott staring down Burgess all the way down the first baseline after he tossed the bat in the manner in which he did.
Montes also looking for his first hit in this series. First pitch to him, that one is popped up in foul territory. Pavin Park's on the run trying to get under it, but it will get out of play. It will get overhead, as that overhead foul ball is brought to you by Hedge Construction. Choose the best and never regret it. 0-1 count here to John Montes with a runner on first. Otters still trailing 3-2. 7 hits and 3 errors for the Eagles. Only 3 hits for the Otters. Next pitch to Montes. Taken in there for strike 2. So quickly ahead. 0-2 is Braden Scott. Opposite of Scott, Jess and Therian, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, only 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. Scott comes set. The 0-2 pitch. That one is taken in there for strike 3 looking. So a big out number 1 for Braden Scott. That German-American break strikeout will bring up the center fielder, Justin Farmer. Strikeout number 5 for Braden Scott, his 4th in the last inning and a 1/3. He comes set, stares down Burgess. First pitch taken low for ball 1. Justin Farmer doubled his last at-bat. It was a leadoff double. Scott did a great job getting out of that inning. Scott comes set. Comes the 0-1 pitch. That one is lifted towards right field. Benson looks like he didn't see it at first, and it drops in front of him. Throws second, is not in time. JT Benson must have lost it in the lights. Couldn't see it. Benson dropped it in front of him, then threw it to second, trying to get Felix. Or get Burgess, rather. Just missed getting him at second as well. So with that misplay, and with 1 away, brings up the first baseman, Brandon Hilton. 0 for 2 on the day. 1 for 6 on the series. Scott comes set. Here comes the first pitch. That one is fouled towards the left. Scott will get out ahead of him 0-1. Mentioned Braden Scott, 4 walks in his first game. Only 2 through 5 and 1/3 innings in this one. So much better control from him thus far. 0-1 pitch from Scott. That one's taken in the dirt. Count moves to 1-1. Chris Burgess walked. He's currently on second. Justin Farmer got credit for a hit on that one. So now 3 for 3 on the day. He's currently at first. Next pitch to Hilton. That one is taken in there for strike. Count moves to 1-2 on Hilton now. Scott with a 1-2 count to Brandon Hilton, the 6'8" first baseman for the Eagles. Comes the 1-2 pitch. That one is fouled back as Hilton just stays alive. Hilton in the left-handed batter's box. Scott will look in, get the sign, come set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one is fouled back as well, so Hilton just staying alive right now. Brandon Hilton was a former 33rd round draft pick by the Milwaukee Brewers in the 2018 MLB draft. Was drafted out of high school initially, then went to play college ball. Braden Scott comes set with the 1-2 pitch. That one fouled off as he continues to battle. Stetson. Hilton finished off his 5-year career at Stetson
Never regret it.
with a season where he had 96 at-bats with a .271 batting average and had 5 home runs. One-two pitch once again to Hilton. That one's taken inside. Count moves to 2-2 now.
Scott really having to work through some really long at-bats in this inning. The Eagles doing a good job of advancing that pitch count even higher than it was to start this inning. I mean, Scott just laboring right now.
Braden Scott at 103 pitches in this game. Next pitch, that one is fouled back once again. What a battle from Brandon Hilton.
Brought to you by Heads Construction.
Came into this game 7 for 17 on the season with a couple of runs scored. This pitch will be the 104th pitch for Braden Scott in the game. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one fouled back again. Hilton is not letting him get this out easily.
It's worth mentioning that Alex Valdez up and loosening for the Otters right now. Given that high pitch count, it wouldn't surprise me if after even this at-bat, even if he gets an out, that's all.
This will be the 10th pitch to the first baseman. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one taken just outside for ball 3. Count moves full. Fans not happy with that call. We'll say it was definitely outside the zone. Count moves full. Here comes the payoff pitch. That one ripped towards the second baseman, Camo. It hit the catcher, Burgess. So the play will be dead. Burgess will be ruled out. They threw the ball to second.
Yeah, I mean, when it hits the runner like that, it should be a dead ball. There should now just be runners on first and second again. Shouldn't be a double play. Given the ruling, it hits Burgess. The ball's dead. Burgess is out, but the runner's safe at first. Should be, anyway. We'll see what they decide.
Yeah, but what if they just didn't call it like that and they just gave the Otters an extra out?
I mean, I wouldn't complain. The Otters started leaving the game like they knew for sure that was 2 outs, but
it is unfortunate because if that doesn't hit Burgess, that's either caught by Camo and it is a double play, or it's dropped by Camo and it's almost certainly a double play as well.
Yeah.
So it ends up being beneficial to the Eagles. Because yes, you are right. That will be the ruling. So the Otters will get it out there after a 10-pitch at-bat to Brandon Hilton. An 11-pitch at-bat, actually.
It's surprising to me that while Andy was out there getting an explanation, that he didn't decide to take out Braden Scott. Obviously, only second start of the season. Well, here we go.
And it looks like they will go get Braden Scott. 105 pitches on the game. You don't want to force him to keep going, potentially risk an injury. And they will go to the bullpen. We'll be right back with more information on the new pitcher. We come back on the Otters Digital Network.
Catalyst Church Food Pantry is honored to be the nonprofit partner of Friday, May 23rd's Otters game. Catalyst Church invites the community, but also the churches from the tri-state to come and unite as one game, as one church, around one cause. Catalyst Church invites each person to bring at least one, if not more, non-perishable food item for their food pantry to continue helping the Evansville community. A great night of baseball is planned, and post-game fireworks are just part of the fun. More information can be found on Catalyst Church Evansville's Facebook page. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com.
New pitcher on the mound is Alex Valdez for the Otters. Catcher behind the plate is Justin Felix. That pitcher-catchery battery is brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call 812-475-9000. Alex Valdez, in his second appearance on the season. First one didn't go too well, pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up one run, but last year was so good for the Otters. You expect to see similar to that this year. Comes the first pitch. That one is swung on and missed by the 9-hole hitter Edward Sanchez for strike one.
Yeah, the DR native, 1.26 ERA in 14 innings last year for Evansville. Struck out 17 in those 14 in a third, so hopefully he can mimic some of that success this year.
Only walked 5 in that time frame.
Oof.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That one is taken just low for ball one. First appearance on the year. Didn't strike out anybody. Didn't walk anybody. He comes set. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That one is lifted towards right field. Mindham will try to get under it. It's in foul territory, and he will get under it for out number 3. So Otters put up another 0 on the scoreboard as they try to answer back on the Eagles. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
Fun scenes and vibes here at Bossy Field.
Back here in Bossy Field as Jason Therian in there for another inning of work. Head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Otters currently down by 1, trying to make their way back. Therian has looked really good, but the Otters last couple of innings have had opportunities to really break into that lead. They've scored a couple runs in the last few innings, but they need to get some more. Last inning had runners on second and third with only 1 out. Wasn't able to come through with any runs there.
Thankfully, hopefully, for the Otters is nearing the end of Therian's outing. Those 3 errors that Trois-Rivieres gave the Otters is really, really nice because it got traffic on the bases, got a run across. Hopefully now this bottom of the order can start making some solid contact, and it all starts with this guy, Paven Parks, who has struggled tonight.
We'll see if he can get something going. Currently working on an 0 for 2 day with 2 strikeouts. Therian, only 65 pitches pitched so far, so he's been good and he's been efficient. Parks settles into the left-handed batter's box. Here comes the first pitch. That one's taken outside for ball 1. Therian, 3 hits given up, 2 runs scored, only 1 of them earned, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts on the day, 2 of them to Parks. Next pitch from Parks is taken, ball 2. So quickly ahead of the head is Pavin Parks, 2-0. Parks standing at 6 foot out of Akron, Ohio. Next pitch fouled back. Count moves to 2-1. Eagles 3 runs on 9 hits. They have 3 errors. Otters 2 runs on 3 hits, but they have not committed an error yet. Pavin Parks fouls that one off, and count moves to 2-2 now. So Therian doing a good job battling back into this at-bat. Parks stands pretty far up in the left-handed batter's box, but also close to the plate. Comes the 2-2 pitch, swung on a miss for strike 3. Quickly 1 away. Next up will be J.T. Benson.
Right fielder, number 31, J.T. Benson.
Benson playing right field tonight, the 23-year-old out of Louisville, Kentucky. Just trying to get something going here for the Otters. Working on a 1 for 2 night. Had that RBI base hit earlier as he takes the first pitch low for a ball. Comes the next pitch as Therian works quickly. That one is in there for strike 1. That one looked a little bit low, but called a strike. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Therian. That one ripped towards left field, back at the wall. It leaps. Did he bring it in? And looks like it didn't. It looks like it got out of the park. It is a home run for J.T. Benson. Has tied this ball game in the bottom of the 6th inning. LP Pelletier leaped at the wall, almost brought it back, but he didn't. And J.T. Benson, his second RBI of the night, his second hit of the night, and this is a brand new ball game.
And the drought finally over. Benson taking care of that. Before that, the Otters were just one of 6 teams in the entire league not to hit a homer. Now finally they're able to get one.
Here comes the first pitch from J.J. Cruz. That one's a ball. And so for the first time this year, I can say that ball has been exterminated by McMahon exterminating. Remember, who can help all your pest control needs? McMahon can. So now J.J. Cruz tries to follow as he swings through that one for strike 1. J.T. Benson, he's been hitting the ball hard all year. He had one last game that looked like it could have gone out, just missed it. This one towards left field. Wall scraper it was, but it got out. 1-1 pitch now to Cruz. That one's taken outside for ball 2. 87 miles per hour off the bat. Predicted to go 325 feet, which is just about as short as you can hit it out of this park. That one is fouled back. Count moves to 2-2 now for J.J. Cruz. That was a huge at-bat, something the Otters desperately needed. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one ripped foul. So he hit it just down the third baseline. And down there, walls are at 315 feet. Cruz in a battle here. Therian comes set from the windup, the 2-2 pitch. That one hit back towards him, just off the glove of Therian. It's going to be a tough play for Montez. Throw to first will not be in time. So another hit for the Otters. And now runner first with one away, and the Otters are back in business.
And that's one that Therian would really like to have back, just barely off the tip of the webbing. Tough play by Montez. Almost made it on the bare hand throw. Just not quite in time to the speedy J.J. Cruz.
That'll be Cruz's first hit of the game. Second time reaching. Third time reaching today, actually. There will be a mound visit. Looks like they could go to the bullpen. We'll see what their decision is. J.J. Cruz 1 for 2 in the day with a walk. That one hit towards first base that was ruled an error. Could have been ruled a base hit. But he's been on base all 3 times. Looks like it will just be a visit. Again, with the way Therian had been pitching up to this point, you want to let him go to see how far he can get you, but we'll see what they decide to do. Game is tied currently at 3. You don't want to give up the lead here.
And of the 3 runs he's given up, only 2 of them earned because of the error-ridden third inning. Up in the pen right now, loosening, is Eric Waldachuk, former Evansville Otter. So we'll see if he ends up pitching here at Bosse Field again.
That will bring in the catcher, Justin Felix, to continue to try to keep this rally alive. Felix currently 0 for 2 on the day. Does have a run scored after he reached by a fielder's choice. First pitch to him, swung on a missed for strike 1. Runner at first, J.J. Cruz has some speed. Not a big stolen base threat, but we'll see. Maybe they want to test that catcher behind the plate. That one taken ball for 1-1. We've talked about it. Burgess has been stolen on quite a bit this year. Potentially you see that matchup, and if you see a good time to go, maybe they'll send him. Therian comes set. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to the backstop, Felix. That one taken low and away for ball 2. Kent moves 2-1 now.
Therian has lost a little bit of zip on that fastball. Now all of a sudden sitting around 89, 90 miles an hour when beginning of the game topping out at 93.
Therian comes set. The 2-1 pitch to Felix. That one checked a swing. Did he go? He didn't, says first base umpire Gary Glover. Count moves to 3-1 now.
I think Justin Felix just earned himself an extra strike on that one. It was close, real close call, and for us, it's nice that Felix is able now to work with a 3-ball count.
3-1 pitch to Felix, taken in there for strike 2. Now Felix is the one throwing his bat when he thinks it's ball 4.
I mean, at least he's bad for both sides, I guess.
That pitch was a little bit low, but feels like he's been consistently calling that low pitch a strike. Count now full for Justin Felix. He took time, so he'll take his time, gets back into the box. Maybe we see movement on the bases to avoid a double play here from J.J. Cruz. Count full. Therian set. Check over at first. A little bit of hesitation there from Cruz, but he gets back. Throw a little bit wide there from Therian. Count still full. Otters tied it here in the bottom of the 6th inning with a J.T. Benson home run. Therian comes set. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on a miss for strike 3. So a big out number 2 for Therian. That will bring up the 9-hole hitter, Mason White. He got his first hit of the season in his last at-bat.
Designated hitter, number 2, Mason White.
Therian did a good job pulling the string on Justin Felix in that last pitch. White, the 6'3" left-handed batter, takes that first pitch for a strike. Born right here in Evansville, Indiana. Played 2 seasons at Indiana Southeast. Had a championship run in his final season last year. And after that season, spent time with the Otters. Mentioned his blistering start, cooled off a little bit down the stretch. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to him, taken outside for ball 1. Count at 1-1 now. "31 stolen bases for Mason White in 2 seasons while he was there. 17 a year prior with the Otters, and we saw him steal a base earlier today. Count at 1-1. He takes that one outside for ball 2. Count 2-1 now. Saw him have some power with the Otters last year, had 5 home runs during his season last year. 2-1 pitch taken outside. 3-1 now. Furion started this inning with 65 pitches. It's now up to 90 pitches in this game. Comes the 3-1 pitch. That one is bounced towards second baseman Montez. Fields it, throws it to second in time, so the inning ends, but not before a JT Benson home run ties this ball game up. Head to the back 3 innings, tied at 3 here on the Otters Digital Network.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library. Catalyst Church Food Pantry is honored to be the nonprofit partner of Friday, May 23rd's Otters game. Catalyst Church invites the community, but also the churches from the tri-state to come and unite as one game, as one church, around one cause. Catalyst Church invites each person to bring at least one, if not more, non-perishable food item for their food pantry to continue helping the Evansville community. A great night of baseball is planned, and post-game fireworks are just part of the fun. More information can be found on Catalyst Church Evansville's Facebook page.
Back here at 23, Don Mattingly Way, just about set for the top half of the 7th. Riley Angel, Lucas Macklin alongside. Alex Valdez here in this 7th inning, got the final out of the 6th. He'll face the top of this order, starting with LP Pelletier, who squares around a bunt, pulls it back, and takes a strike up and in. Pelletier is the Hoosier Lottery strikeout batter of the game, but the way he's been swinging the bat, don't know if we'll get to see those prizes. The 0-1 fouled back. That's an overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Valdez is looking really good so far here early in this appearance. Looks like
The 0-2.
finding his spots.
Swung on, number right back to the mound, fielded by Valdez. Tossed to first in time. Yeah, the fastball seems to have some life on it. Nice breaking pitch as well.
Designated hitter is 15, David Vinsky.
Brings up David Vinsky. He's 1 for 3. Single pop-out strikeout. Vinsky, right-handed batter. Valdez kicks and fires. Up and in, almost got him. 1-0. Had him leaning back at 91.
That's how you brush someone off the plate right there.
Yeah.
Now they're backed up a little bit. You just hit right the outside corner of the plate.
The 1-0. Checked his swing. Didn't matter. Strike anyway. Down and away. 1-1. That one at 92. Valdez is going to be a big piece of this bullpen, especially if you can get it going. Be part of that back three. One of the setup people. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Fouled off opposite way. Overhead. 1-2.
An overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction.
You know, the appearance we saw out of Yohan Gonzalez last night, what we've seen from Griff Hughes, Ryan Wiltsey, all the makings of a bullpen that can close down some games. The 1-2 pitch. High. 2-2. But we'll see. Still, as we've said a lot through these first 5 games early on in the season. The 2-2 pitch. Thought about it, didn't go after it. 3-2.
Valdez, a guy that spent 4 years in the Diamondbacks organization, pitched 200 innings with them through those 4 years. Originally started as a starting pitcher, but since the
Taken, strike 3. Breaker finds the top of the zone. And how about that? Vinsky has some words for home plate umpire Zach Burr.
I think a lot of the hitters have so far today. That last pitch definitely was a strike. I was going to mention, was initially a starter for the Diamondbacks since the COVID 2020 season, where a lot of the leagues weren't playing. He transitioned into a reliever, which is what we've seen him as an Otter.
0-1 the count on a breaking ball down low. Valdez sitting on the third base side of the rubber. Looks in, nods, steps back, kicks, fires. Checked his swing again. Did he go around? Did not. 1-1. A lot of other games being played here in the Frontier League. We got a full schedule. The only game being postponed today, Tri-City and New York. Seems like New York's getting ringed out every other night. So 1-1 pitch. Taken high, 2-1. Divisionally, right now Florence over top of Lake Erie in the bottom of the 7th, 4-3. Which is nice to see. Lake Erie has the 2-1 pitch. Swung on a miss, 2-2. Excuse me, that game is now final, it looks like. Yep, 8-6. Florence still winning over Lake Erie, so that's good for the Otters. The 2-2. Called strike 3, down and away. Alex Valdez, a clean 7th inning with 2 looking strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the 7th, still knotted up at 3 on the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
All nutted up at 3 here in the bottom half of 7 at Bossy Field. Trois-Rivieres and Evansville doing battle. I'm Riley Angel alongside Lucas Macklin. Lucas, Eric Waldachuk into the game, former Evansville Otter.
Exactly, Eric Waldachuk into the mound. Once was on the Otters. This year with the Eagles, pitched 2 1/3 innings in his 1 appearance, gave up 3 earned runs, 5 hits, walked 1, struck out 3. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do in this outing. Obviously, wasn't great in his first one, but we've had pitchers who struggled a little bit in theirs, and they've come back and bounced back. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do for the Eagles here.
Justin Therian finished his line 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of them earned, struck out 9, only walking 1. So a really good outing for him.
Yeah, that's really impressive. The Otters were able to get 3. JT Benson getting 2 RBIs off of him. Defense definitely did not help him out. 3 errors on the day, one of those runs being unearned. So great outing for a guy you really wanted to see it from, but unfortunately not in line for a win. Fortunately for us, not in line for a win. But unfortunately for him, not in line for a win, and now the Eagles have to rely on their bullpen to try to help them get a win.
Waldichuk will face 1, 2, and 3. Alay Camo stands in. 0 for 2, a ground out, sac bunt, and an RBI. A couple of ground outs, actually. First pitch to him is inside, gets away from the catcher Burgess. 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes to the Otters shortstop. The pitch up and away for a ball, 2-0.
So historically, Waldichuk been a relatively good pitcher, limiting the walks, but not a good start in this appearance.
2-0. Swung on, fouled back, 2-1. How about that? Ricocheted off the overhead wood and right into the glove of Maragildo.
Good thing it doesn't count as an out.
Yeah, thankfully we're not playing banana ball. 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs. Waldichuk sets, fires. Taken high. Waldichuk, one of those pitchers working exclusively out of the stretch, out of the bullpen. So no full windup for this guy. He's setting on the first base side of the rubber. 3-1. Up and in. Alay works a walk to lead off this bottom of the 7th.
Exactly the start you wanted to this inning with this new pitcher for the Otters. Again, you had a fantastic pitcher out in the mound for 6 of those innings. Now you get to the 7th inning, and first batter this guy's face, he walks. So huge start to this inning for the Otters.
Here's Graham Brown. 0 for 3, reached on an error in the 5th. The pitch. In there for a strike. Brown, really one of those guys that you hope can break out soon, because he is so important at the top of this order, obviously getting a lot of trust, batting in the 2-hole, as Waldichuk sets and fires to first base, which is not in time. Count, no balls, 1 strike. Maragildo over at third hugging the line. Middle infield playing straight up. Same with the outfield. The pitch. Up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And what Graham Brown really did well during his 3 seasons at Coastal Carolina is be patient, wait for his pitch, and he'd be willing to take walks. He had a .407 on-base percentage, which made him such a good hitter in college, and it's really what you'd like to see him do a little bit better here with the Otters.
Takes a strike there, 1-2. Waldichuk not getting over 90 miles per hour too often on the fastball. Looks in and sets. The 1-2 offering is bounced right in front of the plate. Nice block by Burgess. Man, he is just getting beat up back there. Got hit by a line drive on the bases. Got hit twice yesterday off on a foul tip. I mean, man, this guy's just getting beat up. Talk about wear and tear. Count even at 2 apiece. Here it is. High, 3-2.
Good battle here from Graham Brown. That's exactly what you want to see. Again, from guys at the top of your lineups. Battles, draw out the counts, be patient, be willing to take walks.
So on the payoff, Brown swings and pokes one the opposite way, foul. that overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. So we'll do it again, 3-2. Nobody gone. Runner on first is Alay Camo. Bottom 7 knotted up at 3 apiece. Here it is. Runner goes. Swung on and missed, and there will be no throw. So Alay does just take second base easily. It's interesting you don't see any throw there from Burgess, especially that being the go-ahead run now standing 180 feet away.
First baseman.
Looks like Burgess had trouble bringing in that ball confidently and had no real confidence in a throw down to first and come out with a really, really good jump. It would have been a tough play either way.
We'll bring up David Mindom. 1 for 3, a double. Mindom, one of the guys you definitely want to have up in this situation. O.J. Jones on deck. No action for the Eagles in their pen. For Evansville, they do have one guy up and loosening. Waldachuk looks in, nods. Burgess setting on the outer half of the plate. The first pitch. Swung on, fouled back. 0-1. So Waldachuk working through some traffic and a little bit of control issues. See if he can work through it here for Trois-Rivieres. He sets. And on the 0-1, Mindom takes outside for a ball, 1-1.
Just tried to get an out backdoor breaking ball, but didn't curve it back enough. Mindom did well to lay off of that one.
Infield double play depth. Outfield straight up. The 1-1. Swung on, popped up, foul territory, will get out of play. Back behind the grandstand. 1-2 now, Waldachuk getting ahead of Mindom. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom 7, tied at 3. Go ahead run, and Alay Camo standing on second base. Up in the bullpen is left-hander Ethan Bradford for Evansville. Mindom sets in the left-handed box. Waldachuk sets as well. Looks in, fires the 1-2. Swung on, fouled back again. Good battle here by David Mindom.
That overhead foul ball brought to you
Mindom
by
just seems to have a good at-bat every single time he steps to the plate. It is rarely that he goes up there and he just looks beat. Count 1-2 still. Here's the pitch. Up and away, count evened. Boy, would the Otters love to break through here.
With how good some of those back-end bullpen arms have been pitching, really outside of that first game of the season, it'll be really tough to see Trois-Rivieres make a comeback if you can get the lead right here.
Especially with the way yesterday went, not stranding this guy and Camo at second would feel really good. The 2-2. Inside, we'll have a full count. Mindom just battling. It's not like tonight hasn't had any, left on base issues either. Only scored 3 runs, and Trois-Rivieres has given them 3 free base runners with 3 errors. Overall, they've left 5 men on base tonight. The pitch. Inside, ball 4. Mindom works a tremendous walk. Second walk of the outing for Waldachuk. Brings up L.J. Jones. So, Deerhead Sidewalk Cafe and Bar. And it looks like this, we're going to have a mound meeting. There is no one up in the pen, so this will not be a change. Just some strategy working here. LJ Jones, the batter, had a huge 2 RBI double yesterday to tie the ball game at 6 in the later innings. Now comes up in another huge spot. He struck out in the 5th with 2 runners in scoring position to end the inning.
So 19 pitches so far for Waldachuk in this game. 11 of them have been outside the strike zone.
Fielder, number 20, L.J. Jones.
Otters doing well to be patient, making him come to the zone.
Jones, right-handed bat, has drove in 2 already this year. Both of those coming on that double yesterday. Here's the first pitch. Taken for a strike on the inner half. 0-1. Waldachuk trying to work out of some trouble. Only 1 out in the inning thus far. The pitch. Up and in, and that one's going to curve down and get Jones in the backside. Bases are now loaded for Pavin Parks.
And this guy obviously hasn't had the greatest game so far, Pavin has, but he had some real clutch hits for the Otters last year. He's been a clutch hitter, and this is about as clutch of a moment as they come. And you don't even need a hit to be huge here. If you can just get something into the outfield or slow roller somewhere in the infield, could just get a huge run for the Otters to give them the lead that hopefully they won't give up.
Corners are in. The middle infielders playing for the double play. Outfield playing regular, not playing Pavin too deep. First pitch to Parks. Taken on the upper half of the zone for a strike, 0-1. First base is Jones, second base Mindham, third base Alay Camo. Otters left the bases loaded 3 times last night. The 0-1. Thought about it, takes a strike. 0-2.
Yeah, for a guy like Parks who just 3 strikeouts on the day, you take the first one, the first 2 really that are right around where the numbers are at, and you just kind of hope that you don't give him some extra space on the zone. But home plate blue saw them both as strikes.
The 0-2. Swung on, popped him up. On the infield, left side, under it is Maragildo, makes the play, 2 gone.
And that's just an unfortunate at-bat that saw Pavin Parks get put down 0-2. Tried to make sure he didn't strike out, but popped it up in the infield, and now you need a base hit here from JT Benson to give your team the lead, but Benson been fantastic so far tonight, so honestly not another guy you'd rather have up in this situation.
Yeah, it seems like he's the one that's been getting it done recently, especially in the beginning part of the season. Tonight, 2 for 3, homer, and an RBI single. First pitch to him. Thought about it, but takes a strike. 0-1. That homer just barely getting out in left field just an inning ago in the 6th. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, jam shot, popped him up. Foul territory, right side. Hilton back after it, but it bounces into the seats. 0-2. The Otters just looking for 1 big hit. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases juiced, tied at 3, bottom 7. Benson the batter. Waldachuk sets. Never mind, steps off. Waldachuk agrees with Burgess. Out of the stretch, he'll work. The 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Foul tipped it into the mitt. A huge strikeout for Eric Waldachuk. And the Otters once again strand the bases loaded. We're all knotted up at 3 going to the top of the 8th here on the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Alex Valdez in his 3rd inning of work. In his 1 1/3, he has been pretty good. 2 strikeouts, has not given up a hit or a walk. So we'll see how he does here in this 8th inning. Otters stranding the bases loaded again in their half of the 7th. Just a frustrating couple of days for that offense. Valdez looking to pick him up and go into the bottom of the 8th, still tied. The Otters, we know, have come up with big hits this year. That is something they have done multiple times. We'll see if they can find something later on in this game, but first Valdez has to do his job, and he'll face Juan Carlos Negrete first.
This is a tough guy to go up against. Otters have done a lot better with him tonight, but still 1 for 2 with an RBI hit and a walk.
Take strike 1 there.
But they do have a strikeout on him.
The 0-1 pitch to the big right-hander. Swung on, off the end of the bat, popped up, foul territory, back behind the plate. That's an overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. No balls, 2 strikes. Valdez looks in and begins his wind to the pitch. Down and away, no chance, 1-2. Seems like the Otters have only been in close games as the 1-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. Negrete goes down hacking way early on that slide piece.
And you mentioned these close games.
The catcher.
You know, it's better than just being blown out every game. Obviously, 1-3 is not how you want to start, but you know, in these 1-3, these close games, it's like, okay, if one thing just goes your way a little bit differently, you know, ball bounces a different way, and all of a sudden you have a win instead of a loss. You know, you can take that as a silver lining.
Just caught the down and away corner, 0-1. The pitch. Swung on and missed, 0-2.
It's good to see Valdez just going right after these batters and really showing up in a big way here for the Otters.
Struck out 3 straight. Here's the 0-2. Thought about it. Did he go around? No, he did not. 1-2. Now finally some action brewing for the Eagles. Up is Ronaldo Fernandez. We saw him last night. He was filthy. The 1-2. Swung on, broken bat up the middle. Over to it, Camo. Fields, throws, 2 gone.
More wood for the winter fire, courtesy of our friends at Niehaus Lumber, our proud partner, Evansville Otters.
So, how about that? We have some Niehaus lumber. There it goes. Go get your new lumber at Niehaus Lumber.
And just another very good play by Alek Camo there. You know, he makes it look simple, but it can always be very tough. And it's good to see your shortstop making those plays day in, day out.
So we're going to have a pitching change. They're going to bring in the left-hander to face a lefty in John Montez. Alex Valdez exits with some really good work here in this one, tied at 3, top 8 here on the Otters Digital Network.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library. Catalyst Church Food Pantry is honored to be the nonprofit partner of Friday, May 23rd's Otters game. Catalyst Church invites the community, but also the churches from the tri-state to come and unite as one game, as one church, around one cause. Catalyst Church invites each person to bring at least one, if not more, non-perishable food item for their food pantry to continue helping the Evansville community. A great night of baseball is planned, and post-game fireworks are just part of the fun. More information can be found on Catalyst Church Evansville's Facebook page.
New pitcher for Evansville, the lefty Ethan Bradford out of Lecompton, Kansas. In his first appearance of the season, went an inning in 2/3, striking out 2, not giving up a run, and he'll draw John Montez, the left-handed second baseman, who's 0 for 3 tonight. This is exactly what he was probably brought in here for, these lefty-lefty matchups, and right here, Andy McCauley using him in an effective way.
Yeah, exactly. And this guy really shined in his first appearance. You mentioned no runs, but didn't give up a single hit or walk in that performance. 5 straight outs. So that's a great way to earn confidence early in the season. Obviously, McCauley feeling confident in the guy. Griff Hughes, has pitched a lot beginning part of the season, so give him a little bit of a rest here and bring in this other left-hander in Ethan Bradford.
So Montez will step in on the left side. First pitch to him. Up and in. 1-0. This wind up for Ethan Bradford, the release point, which is about a 3/4 release point, really difficult for these left-handed hitters. The 1-0 offering is down and away for a strike. 1-1.
Yeah, it's great pitch, painting the corners. Coming in with a lot of confidence is Bradford.
The 1-1. Swung on, off the end, up the middle. Camo Fields throws out number 3. So Bradford comes in and gets the job done. A couple of pitches and the final out. We go now to the bottom of the 8th, 3-3 here on the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Here comes Ronaldo Fernandez for Trois-Rivieres. Fernandez for Three Rivers yesterday came in relief, an inning and a third, 2 hits given up, 2 strikeouts, did not walk, and did not give up a run.
I will say that was the pitcher that LJ Jones got the double off of. So inherited some runners and gave up some runs, but any runs of his own did not come in.
Yep.
And once he got into that second inning, he looked really good. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Otters do against him here.
He will face, in this Otters order, J.J. Cruz, Justin Felix, Mason White. So the bottom third. The bottom third has done some good work, as J.J. Cruz, who will be batting, has reached all 3 times. One of them was via an error, the other a walk, and in the 6th got a single. Ronaldo Fernandez with good stuff. One of these back-end relievers for the Eagles. The pitch is taken at 92 low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Already Fernandez's 4th appearance in the season, so one of the guys they've called on a lot this year.
Here's the 1-0 pitch from the righty. Swung on, chopped foul, first base side, 1-1. Nate Wolgamuth up in, going for Andy McCauley. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. No gone, bottom 8, tied at 3. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Out in front, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Fernandez looks in. Stops his windup. Calls time and steps back on the rubber.
A cat and mouse game. JJ Cruz called time initially. Then Fernandez stepped off.
Here is the 1-2 pitch finally. Outside, 2-2 at 95 miles an hour. I think that was more of a pitch clock wasn't running type situation, so a bit of confusion down there, but the 2-2 pitch fouled off. Count stays.
8 strikeouts early in the season here for Fernandez. 3 walks. One of those guys that has a live arm. If he can control it, he's going to be dangerous, but is susceptible to walking batters.
Count evened. Here it is from Fernandez. Taken inside, just off the plate, 3-2.
And we'll say that's a part of the zone that has been called strikes tonight, so bit of a break there for Cruz.
We'll have a payoff to begin this 8th inning. From Fernandez to Cruz, here it is. Swung on, number up the middle. Charging it is Sanchez. Fields, throws, but it was too late. J.J. Cruz quick down the line, he's safe. Seemed like Sanchez had some trouble getting it out of the mitt.
I will say Sanchez took a little bit too long, took an extra step there, and Cruz flying down the first baseline. Was able to take advantage at a 4th time he's reached today. Huge in the 7th spot here for the Otters.
Brings up Justin Felix. Felix 0 for 3, reached on a fielder's choice and has struck out twice. Right-handed batter in a big situation. Small lead for Cruz over at first. The pitch. Felix squares around, puts it down right in front of the plate. Here comes Burgess, goes to first for out number 1. Justin Felix doing his job there, a sack bunt.
That was, as far as sack bunts go, perfectly placed.
Designated hitter.
Billy Bean would be crawling in his grave, even though he's alive, but a bunt nonetheless to advance the runner into scoring position, and Mason White, who has a hit earlier, has a chance to give the Otters a lead here.
Yeah, Billy Bean would not be too happy if he saw the 2 sack bunts so far today for the Otters.
No.
What are we doing? Giving away an out. Mason White now, the batter, the pitch to him. Swung on and missed, 0-1.
Hefty hack at a pitch where Fernandez pulled the string on him. Out in front, pitch in the dirt.
Top of the order, due up after White. White is 1 for 3. Has a stolen base.
There's a big hole in between the shortstop and third baseman right now.
The pitch, swung on and missed, 0-2.
Another curveball that White just wasn't ready for. And when you have a guy going 95, you're sitting on it, you're trying to go early, back-to-back off-speed pitches, he just wasn't ready for.
Now you wonder if after 2 straight breaking balls, it's really hard to fathom what even might be coming. The 0-2. Bounced it. 1-2. Cruz not going.
Looked like they wanted to really make sure he wasn't going to go after a third one there. Laid off the curveball in the dirt on that one.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Cruz on second. White, the batter. Camo is on deck. Otters looking to take the lead in the late stage.
Again, with that huge hole on the left side of the infield, if you can just wait on the fastball and poke
Pick
it
off.
out that way.
Throw to second, not in time.
If you can just poke it out to the left side of the infield, good chance you might be able to squeeze it through the infield and get a base hit.
1 ball, 2 strikes still. Fernandez looks in and nods, sets. Out of the stretch, he'll work. The pitch. Down and in, 2-2. That's 4 pitches that realistically haven't been close to the zone.
Yeah. Those first 2, again, he was sitting fastball, and when they came out of the hand, he was swinging early.
Here's the 2-2 offering. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Backdoor breaker got him hunting.
Curveball in a similar spot as the first 2.
Comes Alay Camo.
Amber Jones lead off batter, the shortstop, number 1, Alay Camo.
Camo is 0 for 3, has reached on a walk and RBI ground out, and also a stolen base for him. Fernandez with the first pitch to Camo. Swung on, popped him up. Shallow left field. Pelletier can't find it. Might be in the Bermuda Triangle. Over to it and dropping right behind Maragildo. That's going to score 1. Otters in front on a ball that probably should have been called, but an RBI single nonetheless for Alay Camo.
That is one where you are going to thank your lucky stars. We saw similar play last night with Camo coming over into foul territory and overran just a little bit. Similar thing there with the shortstop Sanchez. It was Maragildo for third base. Didn't see it initially. You said Pelletier couldn't see it. So Sanchez raced out to try to get it, but running so fast, overran it just a little bit. That one fell in fair territory, and a huge run for the Otters as they take the lead in the bottom of the 8th.
Some tough luck there for the Eagles, but the Otters will absolutely take it. 4-3, the lead now for Evansville. Here in the bottom of the 8th. Brings up Graham Brown. He's 0 for 4. 2 strikeouts. First pitch to him. Up and in, 1-0. Evansville would feel a lot better with 1 more insurance run, that's for sure. Fernandez sets. Throws over to first, not nearly in time. Wolgemuth still loosening in the pin.
We'll see now that it's a safe situation which direction they want to go. If that changes their strategy.
The 1-0. Up and in, nearly got him on the helmet. That ball gets away and will allow Camo to reach second base. Boy, and that is, that's scary as a batter.
I'm not sure how he got out of the way of that. That was inches from getting him in the head.
I mean, that was, Helmet went flying as he leaned back.
And I know Camo didn't need a great read, but he had a really good read on that. He was off the moment it got past Burgess.
Here's the 2-0 with runner in scoring position to Graham Brown. Time called by Brown. Two balls, no strikes to the count. Runner on second base, Camo. Fernandez sets, delivers to Brown. Swung on, chopped on the ground to third. Backhand play by Maragildo. Throw to first. In time on a big stretch. Never mind. Off the bag was Hilton. His foot came off as he stretched towards it. And that is going to be another awful defensive break for an Eagles pitcher.
And that throw by Maragildo pulled Hilton to his arm side. And I really thought he didn't get his foot back. I thought initially he got his foot back, but he didn't. So good job by Graham Brown to run it out. Camo had a chance to maybe go home, but didn't end up going home. And now runners on the corners for David Mindom. Big insurance run over at third there.
So that goes down as the 4th error of the game for the Eagles.
And that one, assumedly, would be the second one on the third baseman, Maragildo.
Mindom now with a chance. The pitch. Taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Mindom with a double already today. That was all the way back in the 4th. He's 1 for 3, also reached on a walk.
Say all 4 errors on the infield.
Yeah.
So those have been pitches that have been grounded, that should have been made for the most part.
Only infielder without an error is Sanchez at short. The pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1.
And I know he doesn't have an error, but that play with J.J. Cruz to begin the inning where he couldn't get the ball out of his glove, that looms huge right now.
Absolutely. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here it is to Mindom. Taken in the dirt, 2-1. Evansville, at this point, just trying to escape with a win. Chance to pile it on with runners on the corners, 2 outs. And Mindom, their best player at the plate, the pitch. Swung on, Topper. That one is going to be tough to make a play on. Barehand play by Montez, throws it away. 1 run comes in. Going to third base, it's going to be Graham Brown. He'll hold there. And the defensive woes continue for this Eagles team. 5-3 now.
Just a slow roller to the second baseman, Montez. And I'm not sure if he was going to get Mindom or not on that throw, but the overthrow allowed Graham Brown to get to third. Either way, it is another huge break for the Otters.
So it's going to be an RBI single for Mindom plus an extra base on Brown due to a throwing error. So with that, Fernandez leaves and a 2-run lead all of a sudden for the Otters. It's 5-3 on the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Back here at Bosse Field, new pitcher for Trois-Rivieres is Ethan Petrick, number 92, the 6'8" right-hander from Joliet, Illinois. So big presence on the mound. Ronaldo Fernandez exits, only going 2/3 of an inning, giving up a hit, 2 runs, only one of them being earned, and a strikeout for him as well.
This will be his second appearance this season. Went 2/3 of an inning, faced 2 batters, didn't give up a single hit. He finished that game. So we'll see what he can do here. His previously, last summer, played with the Boone Bigfoots in the Coastal Plain League, where he pitched 11 innings and had a 4.09 ERA, gave up 5 earned runs in those 11 innings. Struck out 9, walked 6. So again, a guy who pretty high strikeout rate, fairly high walk rate as well. So it's be interesting to see what he can do this year.
Here's LJ Jones. Jones is 0 for 3, got hit by a pitch. The pitch is in there for a strike, down and away. Big spot here, looking to continue to pile it on with the Otters. A 5-error game for the Eagles. The 0-1. Swung on, popped him up, foul, 0-2. I mean, just a night for the Eagles where nothing can go right defensively, all of which on the infield. I mean, you tap one somewhere and you're wondering if you're going to be standing on first. Usually not quite like that in professional baseball.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, especially if you're a pitcher right now, where a lot of soft taps just not gone your way.
That one is inside. Mindham with a steal. No throw from Burgess at all. So Mindham reaches. Runners now on second and third for Jones, who's in a 1-2 count. Petrick looks in and sets. Fires. Down low, 2-2. Petrick, a huge 6'8" frame. 220. The right-hander is ready. Deals the 2-2. Swung on, foul, tapper. Count stays.
And with, the uncertainty with some of these leads that we've had with the Otters, these 2 runs out there look very enticing just to add some more insurance.
Mindham on second. Brown on third, the pitch. Swung on, hit softly in the air, left center field. This one's going to get down. 1 run is in. Here comes David Mindham. 2 runs are going to score, and all of a sudden the Otters now up 7-3 over the Eagles.
Once again, LJ Jones coming in with a big hit with runners on. Like I said, that's some big insurance runs going into the top of the 9th inning.
2 RBI single for LJ Jones. Here's Pavin Parks, 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts and a pop-out. 7-3 Otters, a 4-run 8th inning. First pitch to Parks. Taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Inside, called a strike. I mean, that's just one of those where the reason, it was a strike, but the reason people are upset is because of how late that call comes in.
I will say Pavin Parks crowding the plate a little bit.
Here's the 1-1. That's outside, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The pitch to Parks. Swung on and missed. Took a big hack at that fastball, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes apiece. 2 outs. Runner on first base is Jones. Here it is. Swung on, high fly ball, shallow center field. Coming in on it is Farmer. He calls everyone off and makes the catch. So, a very productive inning for Evansville. They now lead it 7-3 after 8. We go to the top of the 9th. Otters trying to close out their 2nd win of the season here on the Otters Digital Network.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library. Catalyst Church Food Pantry is honored to be the nonprofit partner of Friday, May 23rd's Otters game. Catalyst Church invites the community, but also the churches from the tri-state to come and unite as one game, as one church, around one cause. Catalyst Church invites each person to bring at least one, if not more, non-perishable food item for their food pantry to continue helping the Evansville community. A great night of baseball is planned, and post-game fireworks are just part of the fun. More information can be found on Catalyst Church Evansville's Facebook page.
Series finale and homestand finale tomorrow night on
Otters with a lead here in the top of the ninth inning, 7-3 over the Trois-Rivieres Eagles. It'll be Nate Wolgemuth to come in. This is not a save situation, so just be aware of that with it being a 4-run lead. He will face the bottom third in Farmer, Hilton, and Sanchez. See how he does here in this ninth inning.
I say right now, if you're Wolgemuth, just go in there. Ideally, you just get 3 quick outs and you get out of here because you do not want this game to extend. You don't even want to let them get a foot in the door. You know, you just want to get out of this quickly.
In his last appearance, he did give up 2 runs on 2 hits. Didn't strike out a batter in an inning and a third.
So they came in and shut the door in one of those innings. Then that 2-run home run to Mark Friedrich against Gateway was those 2 runs.
First pitch to the leadoff man, Justin Farmer, who pops it up. Right field, shallow. Over to it, the second baseman, Cruz, who makes the catch for out number 1 here in this ninth.
How's that for quick?
Now Brandon Hilton. Otters have been able to keep him in check for this series. Came in scorching hot. He's 0 for 3 today. Reached on a fielder's choice. He also had a ground out and a fly out. Hilton yesterday was just 1 for 3. Excuse me, he was 1 for 4 yesterday. First pitch to the left-hander is taken wide, 1-0. One ball, no strikes. Here it is. Inside. That one had some crazy break on it. Looked like Hilton was almost begging to get hit the way he moved out of the way, or looked like he was trying to move out of the way. 2-0. Here it is. Inside, shot through the right side hole for a single. So Brandon Hilton with a sharp grounder through. That's 99 miles per hour off the bat. Kind of feels like he was owed that one after the ground out he had in the fourth. That was 107 off the bat.
The ball just seems to explode off his bat. That's what we've seen.
Here's Edward Sanchez, 0 for 3. Wolgemuth sets, looks in and fires the first pitch. Binder got him buckling, 0-1. Double play depth, the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-2 at 92. Not paying much attention over to Hilton at first. The 0-2 pitch. Down in the dirt, gets past Justin Felix, so Hilton will now be in scoring position. That's going to be scored a wild pitch. 7-3 Otters lead it. Top 9. Trois-Rivieres has out-hit the Otters 10-9, but the errors swinging way to the Eagles side of the pendulum. 5 errors for the Eagles, none for the Otters. That is now 9 errors in the first 6 games of the year for Trois-Rivieres.
So we saw a lot of walks last night, but only 5 total in this game. 3 for the Eagles, 2 for the Otters.
The 1-2. Bounced it. That one blocked by Felix. 2-2.
A couple of non-competitive 2-strike pitches there. It's not really what you want to see here from Wolgemuth. You want to get back into the zone. And on those in particular, you want to at least make them close.
Top of the order is next. So would really like to get this guy out. The 2-2. Called strike 3 in her half at 95 miles an hour. First strike out of the game for Wolgemuth. Here comes L.P. Pelletier. Wolgemuth looks in, sets, fires the first pitch. Taken inner half for a strike.
That one at 96. Wolgemuth has shown he has a pretty lively arm. And honestly, all things being considered, he's done a pretty good job controlling it so far at the beginning of this year.
The 0-1. That one, 96 as well for a strike. Top of the zone, 0-2 Otters.
That one was just middle, but blew it by the hitter. Just wasn't ready for it.
One strike away is Evansville. Hilton stands on second. The pitch. Swung on. Nice battle. Count stays at 0-2.
So the one thing with Wolgemuth is that it feels like he's not done a good job really controlling that off speed. If he can kind of get into that, the one thing we saw with the last appearance is that he threw a lot of fastballs because that was the pitch that was working. If he can do a better job kind of controlling those off speed pitches, it would be huge for him.
The 0-2. Left it once again. Gets past Justin Felix, and that's going to allow Hilton to advance 90 feet now to third base.
Looked like Felix was trying to catch that in a way he was going to be able to frame it, but it got a little bit too far away from him, more than what he expected anyway.
Count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, top 9. 4-run lead for Evansville, 7-3. Wolgemuth sets, fires. Swung on, popped him up. Not playable. We'll do it again. Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Felix lays down the sign. Wolgemuth shakes once, now nods. And here it is. Way wide, he yanked that one. Thankfully, the backstop is as close to the plate as it is. And Hilton not being able to advance. That one was nowhere close.
Yeah, that looked like he just slipped out of his hand. He pulled it a little bit too much.
So now a 2-2 count to Pelletier. The pitch. Up and in. 3-2. That one at 95, way high, almost getting him.
And like I said, this is what I'm saying. You don't want to leave. You don't even want to let them leave the door open. You want to get this guy right here and end this one right now.
Here's the 3-2 with 2 outs. The payoff. Inside, ball 4. So runners now in the corners for David Vinsky. Vinsky 1 for 4, 2 strikeouts, a pop out, and a single. When he singled in the third, he did come all the way around to score. Prime RBI spot for him.
Again, tying run is on deck, so just go after him. Do whatever you can to get this guy out.
Automatic take. He was stepping out of the box as that one was halfway to the plate. 1-0. Wolgemuth with the 1-0 pitch. Fouled it back. 1-1.
And that one wasn't very close. Thankfully, Vinsky was swinging, but all of a sudden that control we were talking about has kind of left him, even with the fastball.
Stretching starting to happen in the Evansville pen. No one throwing yet. The 1-1. Binder touches the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Once again, the Otters 1 out, 1 strike away. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here it is from Wolgemuth. Swung on, chopped softly to third. Parks, fields, throws. That'll do it. Evansville with a 7-3 win over Trois-Rivieres. Got sketchy towards the end, but Wolgemuth able to settle it down. And Evansville now 2-3 on the season.
That's a great win for the Otters. It was a hard-fought win, but one of those ugly wins that you're going to have to get throughout this long season, and thankfully it went the Otters' way. In that 8th inning, they really took advantage of some only way you can say it's porous defense from the other side.
When we come back, we'll talk more about it on the Papa John's postgame show. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bosse Field. A 7-3 final score here in this one, and a great win for Evansville, breaking that 2-game skid that they had to begin this 2025. You're listening to the Papa John's postgame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network and the Home Team Network. So, this one for the Otters, one that you came in, you really, really wanted to have, and now you got it, finally broke a home run drought as well. Got to feel really good if you're an Otter right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be ecstatic because not only, is it a big win to break a losing skid, but you win the game, you put yourself in a position to not only go to 500 tomorrow, but potentially win this series and be able to go on this next, 3-game road trip feeling really good.
And with the rubber match tomorrow, Parker Brahms will be on the mound. He had a really solid first start. What do you expect to see from him against this Trois-Rivieres team?
I'm just expecting him to be solid just like he has been. He's a guy that really gets through innings. I think you're going to see at least 5 innings from him. Even if it's something similar to what we saw from Braden Scott today, where sometimes it's bumpy throughout, he's going to get you innings. He's going to pitch well. He's going to keep you in the ball game, and that's really all you can ask for from a guy like Parker Brahms.
And, the defense today. For Evansville, it was solid. For Evansville, it was fine. For Trois-Rivieres, 5 errors. All 5 on grounders. So, they're going to have to go back to the hotel tonight, figure some things out, especially that infield.
And it's not even just on those plays alone. You had the blooper from Malay Como that dropped over there that gave the Otters the lead. You had, the play from the shortstop Sanchez where he couldn't get the ball out of his mitt, and that started the entire run in the 8th inning for when J.J. Cruz got that hit up the middle. So there were multitudes of times where the Eagles just really let their pitchers down, which, again, you look at Theory and what he did. He pitched a really, really good game, just got let down by his defense. And, it's unfortunate for him, but very fortunate for the Otters that they come away with a win.
And for Braden Scott, not a phenomenal start, but overall did pretty well. 5 2/3, only gave up 3 runs, struck out 5, walked 2, but he didn't have those massive control issues like we saw in the first inning of this season. Looks solid. He looks like he's going to be solid throughout the year.
Yeah, and that's what exactly we want from your ace of your rotation, is just a guy who's going to be solid. And even in a night where he just didn't have his best stuff, still looked good, still gave the Otters the best chance to win, and Otters are able to take advantage late in the game and end up coming away victorious.
And now this puts Evansville at 2-3, and with the Lake Erie loss today, that was Lake Erie's first loss of the season. That puts Evansville 1 game closer. Washington also getting a win as well. They're now at 3-2. But all of a sudden, this Central Division, obviously close in the year, it's going to be close, but Evansville just looking to get back in that hunt, and now at 2-3, 1 game closer.
Yeah, you really just want to keep trying to win some of these ugly games early in the season as your team continues to grow closer and you kind of get further into the year and you start playing better ball. And, a win like this can be huge to really set yourself in the right direction. If you can come back tomorrow and, again, get another big win, you're off to Mississippi starting Friday, and hopefully you're set in the right direction going on the first road trip of the season.
Tomorrow, they play this Trois-Rivieres team again in the rubber match. It is Margaritaville night here at Bosse Field. That start time, 6:35. Doors will open an hour prior to first pitch at 5:35 p.m. tomorrow night.
Yeah, and it's going to be exciting. Like I said, you get a rubber match to a series. It's going to be really exciting, and hopefully the Otters come through and play some really good ball when we see a fun game tomorrow.
You just listened to the Papa John's postgame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network and the Home Team Network. So for Lucas Macklin, I'm Riley Angel. You've been listening to the Otters Digital Network, and as always, have a good night.